All right, give praise, glory, and honor to the Most High Yahweh, Yahushua HaMashiach. John chapter 5, verse 39. I'm going to reiterate this again, too, because I said this Wednesday. We don't be pointing out stuff just to show her my shot, just to show it. There is a principle behind that. If you can't see the principle behind that, that means that you are a babe. And some of y'all should not be babies no more. A baby don't stay on the titty forever. There has to come a time when you got to be spiritually discerned. If you're not spiritually discerned, that is not good. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me, and you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Alahym in you. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 1. I'm going to start with that. I'm going to go ahead and start with that. I'm going to go ahead and start with that. 1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 1. Listen what he tells you. And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Mashiach. So Paul had let it be known. He said, I can't even speak to you about spiritual things. I got to speak to you like carnal people, like babies. Some of y'all are not babies. I shouldn't have to be dumbing nothing down. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have to be dealing with no milk. And anybody who is a baby, all I tell them is, if you want to know something, it's 3 YouTube channels, and you can holler at me at your leisure if you really want to know. Or you can take the track, how my brother-in-law feel, I'll know it when I'm supposed to know it. You know what I'm saying? When he want me to hit, when it's time for that person to hear it, they gonna hear it. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like a little bit more diligent. They want to know stuff. Because I'm telling you, man, you got to really know what you're getting into, because it seems like being an Israelite, so to speak, is a fad in the country. It's a fad in the world. It's just something to do. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted something to do, you could have stayed in the Sunday church shucking and jiving, man. You know what I'm saying? Putting on monkey suits. He said, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you were not able to bear it, neither yet now are you able. For you are yet carnal. For where is there among you envy and strife and divisions? Are you not carnal and walk as men? That's the reason why we read that when you're carnal, you're going to walk like a man. You're spiritual, you're going to walk like Alahym. How you walking? You know what I'm saying? How you walking? Because I know me personally, I don't particularly care to have conversations with carnal people. You know what I'm saying? Not for an extended period of time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to drift off to something that I don't particularly care about. You know what I'm saying? My conversations are, I put it this way, man. It's just something I started doing. Like, I don't really like to talk about certain stuff like this here, like real deep, like stuff I really be dealing with, going through. I usually keep a lot of that stuff to myself. You know what I'm saying? You know, I talk to you about the word. We could tick around this here. I only really want to talk about the word or getting some money, especially getting some money around this time. You know what I'm saying? I don't really want to talk about nothing else. Stuff don't really concern me. You know what I'm saying? I can talk about the word all night long. You know what I'm saying? I had that much love for it. I remember when my people told me, like, I was the only person that she knew that would really sit around and do that. You know what I'm talking about? When you sit back and look at it, how is somebody walking? Is that a man or they walking like Alahym? See, like when he talking about, now I'm not finna read the next verse, but you gotta sit back and look at it. How are you walking? Where's your mentality at? Go on to 2 Peter chapter 2 and about chapter 1, about verse 3. We're gonna see why you're carnal and walking like men. I'm gonna dive straight on off into it. This is why you walk around like a man. You ain't walk around like Alahym because of this. 2 Peter, 2 Keeper, chapter 1, verse 3. And it says, according as his divine power has given unto us all things that pertain unto life and godliness through the knowledge of him that have called us to esteem and virtue, whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these you might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. So then we have to sit back and see that. I can't sit back and see that. If you've escaped the death that's in the world through desire, how you could even intermingle with that. You know what I'm saying? Like what we were just talking about, like people who done came and heard the word and left and got back into that. He was trying to pull you out from that. And you go back to that? That don't make no sense, right? So now we got to see what he's talking about exceedingly great and precious promises. Go to Exodus chapter 3. So you can be partakers of the divine nature, right? See, if you're going to be a partaker of the divine nature, it's certain things you got to add to your faith. Truth be told, what we talking about is meat in itself. This ain't no milk whatsoever, but it is what it is. Now we're going to look at when we talk about escaping the world through corruption, through lust. Some of y'all should already know what we finna hit at and what we finna look at. Like it come a time, man, you supposed to, the word's got to be in you. If it ain't in you, man, that is a problem. Exodus chapter 3. About verse 13. Exodus 3 and 13. Shemot 3 and 13. Let's see what he say. And Moses said unto Alahym, behold, when I come unto the children of Yasharal, and shall say unto them, the Alahym of your fathers have sent me unto you, they shall say to me, what is his name? What shall I say unto them? And Alahym said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shall you say unto the children of Yasharal, I am have sent me unto you. And Alahym said moreover unto Moses, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Yasharal, Yahuwah Alahym of your fathers, the Alahym of Abraham, the Alahym of Isaac, the Alahym of Jacob, have sent me unto you. This is my name forever, and this is my memorial unto all generations. Go and gather the elders of Yasharal together, and say unto them, Yahuwah Alahym of your fathers, the Alahym of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, appeared unto me, saying, I have surely visited you, and have seen that which is done to you, and Mizraim. What is the key thing that stand out from what I just looked at when we say dealing with exceeding great and precious promises? Why would this be important? What one thing would stand out if we look at exceeding great and precious promises? From what we just read from verse 13 to 16, what's going to stand out about exceeding great and precious promises? What you think, Pierre?
As far as I know, we read, he's speaking of Abraham.
He's speaking of the fathers. So that means we got to go look at them great and precious promises that he made with them then, don't we? Well, let's look at Bereshit or Genesis 15 and 3, and let's see that. And Abram said, behold, to me thou hast given no seed, and lo, one born in my house is mine heir. Behold, the word of Yahuwah came unto him, saying, this shall not be thine heir, but he that shall come forth out of thy own bowels shall be thine heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said, look now toward Shamahim, and tell the stars, if thou be able to number them. He said unto him, so shall thy seed be. What's important with that if he told him to look toward Shamahim and look at what? What he told him to look at what? Go ahead. He's looking at the sons of Mashiach. If he tell him the sons of Alahym, he tell him look at the stars, right? Don't you remember in Revelation he say it was a number which a multitude gathered around the throne which no man can number? You know what I'm saying? This man promised him to give him a multitude of sons. We already know this because Alahym is light and there's no part darkness. Anybody who dwell in him got to be in the light. If you walking in darkness or dwell with darkness, you are not of Yah. There's no way around that. So we got to sit back and look at there's no gray area. We either on the side of righteousness or we on the side of damnation. That's it. You know what I'm saying? That's why he say, I would rather you be hot or cold. He say, since you're not hot or cold but lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth. This has been Yasharal problem since the day that we were born. We always been teetering on the edge, playing around, thinking that you got time to play, got time to meddle, got time to fool with stuff. We don't have that type of time. It could cost you. And he says, and he believed in Yahuwah and he counted to him for righteousness. Now, of course, we're not going to read all the parts of the land that he promised him, right? Say, I'll give you this land, I'll give you this person land, I'll give you this person land. But what he promised him was sons of Alahym and a land. So if he said, look at the stars and see if you can number them, so shall your seed be. Go get Galatians 3 and about verse 14. Because we already know the Redeemer shall come unto Jacob, unto all those who turn from iniquity. And this is my covenant that I will make with thee. The word that he say, the spirit that is upon thee, and the word that is be in thy mouth shall be in thy seed's mouth, and thy seed's mouth, from henceforth and forever. You sit back and look at it. Every one of y'all who on here who done been immersed, you supposed to be a son of Alahym now. You sit back and look at it. What would Mashiach do? If you ain't doing what Mashiach do, you's a bastard. You are a bastard. Which is going to go back to what I was talking about with the chastisement, because he chastised those who he loved. If you despise the chastisement, you are a bastard. No bastard gonna enter into the body. That's got to resonate in our hearts. Especially when the chastisement comes. Because then when that chastisement comes, you know what a son gonna do who reverences his father? He gonna correct his behavior. Because he loves his father. There ain't gonna be no, it's gonna take me a couple weeks or a few months. He's gonna correct that right then. Because the last thing I want is my father to be disappointed with me or come cross my dome again. Or worse, kill me. Because y'all know what the law say. I got a rebellious son who's a glutton, right?
Yeah.
Don't want to listen, right? You know what the law told him to do with that son? Stone him. Take him out there to the people of the city and stone him. So you sit back and we look at it as we rebellious children. The law say we ought to die. If our father come to us and he trying to correct us, and we buck that correction, that man say you ought to be taken in the street and stoned. You ought to die. That stuff don't resonate in our head. Because the thing come in at is like I told y'all Wednesday, you're not hearing the word, you listening. When you're not hearing, there's no way you're going to correct yourself. That's why he said that there's a way that seems right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. It seems right to you. Is it right to y'all though? We don't think as a people, I'm talking about as a whole, whether we deal with the word or not, we don't think about stuff like that. Long as we get, that's why he say men end up being pleasers of themselves instead of pleasers of Alahym. I'd rather do what I want to do than what y'all say do. So we have to look at that. We don't think like that as a people. You know what I'm saying? At all. Hello? What's happening, bro? Galatians 3 and 14. No, we got to think about that as a people, man. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, right? You know, they said the Mashiach was a friend of sinners, right? But they said all the man was doing is he sat down and taught them. He didn't hang with them because then he'd be breaking his own word when the book say, blessed is the man who don't stand in the way of sinners. You know what I'm saying? You know how many times we done talk about that? I done had people be like, well, I'm going to go to the club and get somebody with the word. Nigga, I ain't going to no club to preach no word, nigga. That don't make no sense. People be posting up in front of the liquor store wondering why them Hebrew niggas be wondering why nobody listening to you. Because I came in here for some yak, nigga. I ain't coming here to hear what you talking about. I came here for some yak. You standing right here talking about, that's right. You like, this nigga here crazy. Say what I told you when that nigga wanted me to go out there in the parking lot and preach at the fair in the parking lot. Come on, bro. The people ain't come down here for that. They came out here for cotton candy, funnel cakes, and a Ferris wheel. Big old turkey leg, big as your head. You know what I'm saying? And you thinking them people gonna want to, shoot, he telling me I'm going to hell for breaking Shabbat. Shoot. All right, bro. You ready to go in the fair? Come on, man. It's a lot of stuff I'll sit down and talk to the word with anybody, but I ain't gonna hang with you though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit down with the word with anybody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no problem with that because I've done it. I used to work in a sports bar. These people be sitting down there drinking. They know I got the word. And they sitting there looking at, boy, I pull the Bible out and drop it right on the bar. They sitting there like this here. Well, show me this here. They say, boy, you a strong dude to be sitting around here with these heathens going through this word. Yeah, I don't drink, nigga. But guess what? I ain't going nowhere with you when you leave here, though. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm good on that. I'm good on that. I'm talking about dead serious. You know, I had that big Bible back then, too. So, you know, that looked real crazy to be in the ale house, sitting that big old Bible on that bar like that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know what it got to the point, too? That them sinners got mad when I came. And I ain't even come to talk to y'all. I just got to come in here to work. I'm waiting for y'all to leave. They get mad when they see a nigga come. They like, man, nigga gonna start talking about the word. Nigga, I ain't finna just start preaching to you. If you ask, I'm gonna crack your door with it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You open the door, I'm gonna go ahead and walk right on in. You don't open it, I don't say nothing to you. I be in public all the time, hear people say stuff. I don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like this here, man, that's y'all. I be in the gym here and these them white folks be in there talking about, you know, Jesus. I be like this here. This like what Glover told Ed, man, stop calling on Jesus. That nigga ain't real. You know what I'm saying? I don't know who that is. He ain't real though. You know what I'm saying? I'm for real though. I don't be looking to jump in people's stuff, man. Hey man, if y'all want you to get it, you gonna get it. You only gonna get the word for one or two reasons. It's to save you or damn you. Many are called, few are chosen. Just because you hear the word and you come to it don't mean you were chosen to be saved. Y'all do know that, right? A whole bunch of people got called up out of Misraim, didn't they? Yeah. All of them ain't make it though. All of them ain't make it though. See, I'm going to tell y'all that. See, ain't nobody else going to tell y'all that. But y'all know Matthew 22 and 14 say many are called, few are chosen. There's a lot of people going to hear the call. Because he say wisdom crieth out in the street. Say, I cry out to the sons of men. You know what I'm talking about? You're going to come to it for a little bit, but then we're going to sit back and see y'all going to try your hard. That's why I say blessed is the man that endure temptation. I got to prove y'all see where your heart at. Like I was telling somebody the other day, man, once the man prove your heart at and your heart with him, he'll accept you. He'll never reject you. You know what I'm talking about? But boy, once he try your heart and he see his son sour in there, he try to get it out, you try to keep it in there, he going to tell you just like he told them. See, I'm going to let Caleb and Yahushua, son of Nun, in here, because see, they had a different ruach with them. Rest of you nigga, you gone. You done. I don't want nothing to do with you. You can go ahead and perish. Because their heart wasn't steadfast. That's what I'm trying to get important, y'all. That's what we were trying to talk about Wednesday, man. And last Shabbat day. Well, your heart need to be steadfast in this man's covenant. You know what I'm saying? Well, your feet need to be firmly planted and steadfast in this man's word if being saved is your desire. If attaining the Ruach HaKodesh is your desire, your heart should be steadfast with the man. Because we know 1 Thessalonians 5:21 said don't even have no appearance of evil. It just certain stuff you just ain't supposed to do. You don't even want a nigga to think crazy. Because that might get your power blamed. 3 and 14 though, Galatians. I got a lot to look at. We see if we get it all. He said that the blessing of Abraham might come on the Gentiles through Yahushua HaMashiach, that we might receive the promise of the Ruach through faith. Brethren, I speak after the manner of men. Though it be a man's covenant, yet it be confirmed, no man disannul or add thereto. Now to Abraham and his seed were the promises made. He saith not, and to seeds as of many, but as of one, and to thy seed, which is Mashiach, which is going right back to them stars. So you're not going to be able to number. That's how many sons of Alahym it's going to be. But then you sit back and be like, well, a lot of people got to be saved and they can't be numbered. It's going to be a lot that can't be numbered, but it's not going to be a lot relative to all population. Because only a remnant is going to make it. Romans 11 and 24 says I said. The reason being is everybody don't have the wherewithal to continue. 11:26. And so all Yasharal shall be saved, that it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob. This is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins. As concerning the good news, they are enemies for your sake, but as touching the election, they are beloved for the Father's sake. This is going back to those, according to those great and precious promises, that you might be partakers of the divine nature. Because when he's coming, when he sat back and he said, I seen my people in that Exodus chapter 3, he said, I will deliver them, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what he said, right? So how did he come around and deliver them to that they could escape the corruption of the world through lust? How did he do it? He took a firstborn lamb without blemish that you pulled out on the 10th day of the first month, and then you slaughtered it on the 14th day of the first month, and then they killed the firstborn in Mizraim, and the people came up out of that. Because we know in the Greek, the word is Egypt, and that means bondage. That means sin. So he had caused them to escape from Mizraim or escape the world through lust because of the desires. Because you're going to sit back and you're going to see when we look at that when they got in the wilderness, they began to lust. They hadn't actually added to their faith when they came up out of that situation. That's why they lean to their flesh. That's why they carnal. That's what some of y'all problem is right now at this moment. You carnal. That means you marked for death. Because our power is Ruach. John 4 and 20. Let's sit back around, man. This is the most serious thing that we involved with, man. This is not no joke. We can't shoot around and play. Especially, I told y'all that, man. Well, it's only about 3-4 of y'all. Well, I'm saying that's about 3 of y'all that's on the phone. That was there when with their immersion. Boy, I told y'all. After that right there, boy, ain't no plan. Like, I ain't never got rid of nobody before. But, boy, I'm probably more inclined now that I'm going to just cut you off. Don't even come around no more. You know what I'm saying? Boy, if you're going to have that, just don't come around no more. I'm good. I'm straight. Ain't like this here, man. I told you we going hard. I ain't playing. Hesitating. Nothing. I ain't playing. I ain't with it. You don't want to do right? Arrivederci. Adios. Aloha. You know what I'm saying? Good riddance. Goodbye. Go burn. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to come along for the ride like CeeLo said. If you don't want to come, that's not my concern. I guess in hell you just going to have to burn. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't no time for playing, man. It really ain't. You know what I'm saying? Stuff done been reshuffled, redealt. Ain't no plan. You want to play? Go get your Nintendo, Sega Genesis. You know what I'm talking about? Xbox, PlayStation. I don't care. Get the original PlayStation. You ain't got to get a new one. You know what I'm saying? You can go to 16-bit graphics, man. Keep it old school. You know what I'm talking about? Get you Sonic the Hedgehog or something. Straight up, though. Straight up, though. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with it. You know what I'm talking about? If you don't want to serve y'all, I'm good. That's anybody, man. See, it don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff, man. They try to work with people. They try to help them. They try to tell them. Try to preach it up out you. You don't want to do right? Just dip. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's anybody. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody exempt from that. Just dip.
Okay.
Cause I ain't finna be racking my brain no more like, okay, man, trying to help somebody that they don't want to do right. I ain't got time for it. I ain't finna be stressing myself with that, man. You can just dip. Because I done already did that. And the worst part is, you try to help people and tell them stuff, nigga don't appreciate it, nigga talk greasy. So you can dip. You know what I'm saying? 4 and 20. Our fathers worship in this mountain, and ye say that Jerusalem is the place where men ought to worship. Yahushua saith unto her, woman, believe me, the hour come when ye shall neither in this mountain nor yet at Jerusalem worship the Father. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship. Salvation is of the Yahudim. We supposed to know what we doing. If you carnal, you don't know what you're doing. That's why Paul said, I can't even feed you with meat. Because you ain't able to take it. If you know what you worship and you know who you serve, it's just certain things you're not going to say, you're not going to do. It's just certain things you're not going to do. But the hour coming now is when the true worshiper shall worship the Father in Ruach and in truth, for the Father seeks such to worship him. Alahym is a Ruach, and they that worship him must worship him in Ruach and in truth. You're going to have to become spiritual. You can't be carnal no more. And in order to not to be carnal, you're going to have to add certain things to your faith. This is what these people didn't seek to do. Come on back to 2 Peter. We finished verse 4, right? Now we in verse 5. Now we read Wednesday, right? Where he say, be diligent in keeping all these commandments, right? Diligent mean to be on your grind, man. To be on your job. Say, see a man diligent in his labor, he'll stand before kings. You're going to stand before the King of Kings, man. You diligent in what you're supposed to be doing. Excuse me. And besides this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue. Does anybody know what virtue is? Virtue means, in Hebrew, the word is like kayil, or something like that. I might have pronounced it wrong. But it means strength. Now, what is the strength of Yahuwah? There's two things I know off the top of my head tell you what strength is. Who know what them two things is? You know what it is?
Faith and something.
Faith is one of them. We know Isaiah 26:3 tells us that. Yeshayahu 26:3 tells us that. Trust ye in Yahuwah forever, for trust in Yah is everlasting strength. Nehemiah tells us in the 8th chapter, the 10th verse, that the joy of Yah is your strength. We also know that faith and joy are fruits of this man's ruach.
I'm going to go with old faith and say, believing and obeying.
No, I just told you what it was. Faith and joy. Trust in Yah and joy. He say he will keep him in perfect shalom who mind is stayed on thee because he trusts in thee. See, a lot of y'all, that man don't stay on your mind because you don't trust him. You don't trust him. You know what I'm saying? It shows in the things that you say and the things that you do, you don't trust him. Because if you trusted him, you'll trust his will, and you will seek his will and not your own. That's why Mashah say that thy Torah within my heart to do thy will, O my Alahym. He trusted him. That's why he say, order my steps according to thy word. See, that's what biggest problem come in with the whole house of Yasharal. Whether they know they Yasharal or whether they don't know. That we don't want this man to actually order our steps in his way. We want to order our own steps and then try to fit our steps in his way. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that. You know what I'm saying? We can't do that. Because that means who you actually serving. Is your Alahym Yahuwah? Is your Alahym your own belly? We can't do that. We have to think about all this stuff. See, we won't weigh none of this stuff out. We don't be judging none of that stuff. We just floating in the wind. There has to become a period of time you're supposed to be able to judge righteously. How you going to receive the anointing that you have no need for any man to teach you what you ought to do if you can't even judge correctly? That man say don't judge according to appearance, judge righteous judgment. So you ain't supposed to judge it how it look. You supposed to judge it according to the word. But you know what ends up happening? It get judged according to the word. It don't look how you want it to look. So you don't want nothing to do with that. Because it's stopping you from getting what you want. See, that's straight flesh. That's what Saul did. That's how Saul got cut off. Because the Most High told him specifically what to do. But he feared the people. It ain't even just fearing the people. He wanted to do what he wanted to do. So he said, you know what? I reject you. And I'm going to take my ruach from you. And then he gave him an evil one. And then he killed him. See, we got to look at stuff like that, man. You know, we done looked at Saul's story so many different ways. But Saul is the epitome of an idiot. You know what I'm saying? King Ahab is an epitome of an idiot. Those just couple off the top of my head. Because they were sitting to fit their way in with Yah's way. It seemed right to them. And both of them died. Ahab even had to go ask the prophets, what does Yah say do? And he was like, well, don't get Micaiah, because he don't never speak well concerning me. Don't get somebody who going to tell me what I need to hear versus what I want to hear. Don't get that nigga. Because he ain't going to tell me what I want to hear. And then he told him what he wanted to hear. He was all amped up. He said, man, Micah came back and told him, not for real, man. He said, not for real, man. He said, your prophets was lying. He said, you please go up because I'm going to kill you. You know what I'm saying? That's what he told him. Please come up because I'm going to kill you. But you had to sit there. But you know why? Because that's what he wanted to hear. So that's what he gave Ahab. That's been Israel's problem from the beginning. You know what I'm saying? We don't never want to hear the truth. We are a stiff-necked people. But virtue is righteousness, right? So get your Deuteronomy 6 and 22. I'm talking about this is a stiff-necked people. He told us that in Deuteronomy 9, 6 and 21 actually. He said, man, don't sit back and think I'm giving you this land for your righteousness. He said, I'm giving you this land for the, he said, not for your righteousness, but for the wickedness of these other nations. He said, let it be known unto you, you's a stiff-necked people. He said, I made a promise with your fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Matter of fact, look at 9 and 4 in Deuteronomy. I take 9 and 3. I'll read that first. Since I'm right here by it and I'm talking about it. He say, understand therefore this day that Yahuwah thy Alahym is he which go over before thee as a consuming fire. He shall destroy them. He shall bring them down before thy face. So shalt thou drive them out and destroy them quickly, as Yahuwah hath said unto thee. Speak not thou in thy heart that after Yahuwah thy Alahym have cast them out from before thee, saying, for my righteousness Yahuwah have brought me into to possess this land. But for the wickedness of these nations Yahuwah doth drive them out from before thee. Not for thy righteousness, or for the uprightness of thy heart do thou go to possess their land, but for the wickedness of these nations. Yahuwah thy Alahym doth drive them out from before thee, that he might perform the word which Yahuwah sware unto thy fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Understand therefore that Yahuwah thy Alahym give thee not this good land to possess it for thy righteousness, for thou art a stiff-necked people. Remember and forget not. You already told you. So this is a commandment that you're supposed to remember this and never forget it. How thou provoked Yahuwah thy Alahym to wrath in the wilderness from the day that thou did depart out of the land of Mizraim until you came unto this place. You have been rebellious against Yahuwah. Also in Horeb, you provoked Yahuwah to wrath, so that Yahuwah was angry with you to destroy you. This is what you did when you came up out of the escape the corruptions of the world through love. You bucked the man and you provoked the man. This man told you to remember this and never forget what you did. He said, don't never forget that you tried me continually. And I'm not giving you this stuff for no reason other than the oath that I swore to my son Yahushua. Because that's what he's talking about when he say the oath that I swore to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We done read that first oath right in Genesis 15, right? That promise. He said, I ain't doing that for no other reason than for my son. Please know that. It's not for your righteousness, nor no uprightness of your heart. It's for the righteousness of my son and the uprightness of his heart. He said, please know this. Please remember it and do not forget it. So that means every last one of y'all need to sit back and think about, oh, you think this man calling you to this word and doing all this stuff for the righteousness of your heart or the uprightness of your heart? Please don't be that stupid. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got nothing to do with you. It's got to do with Mashiach. It's got to do with the fathers. It's got to do with the promise to give you an opportunity. Because he's telling you, you provoked me to my face. Matter of fact, since I say that, get Isaiah 65:1. I sought them that asked not for me. Isaiah 65:1. Yeshayahu 65:1. I sought of them that asked not for me. I am sought of them that asked not for me. I am found of them that sought me not. I said, behold me, unto a nation that was not called by my name. Listen what he say. I spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walk in a way that was not good after their own thoughts. What you think that could mean, Phil?
Spread out his hands on that tree for the rebellious.
That's a Mashiach up on the tree. He spread his hands out for rebellious people. You know what I'm saying? Get Isaiah 1 and 12. Yes, Yahoo 1 and 12 go along with this. You can hold that Deuteronomy 6 and 22. I get round up. My mind broken right now. My bad. 1 and 1. That man said, I spread my hands out all the day to a rebellious people, which walk in a way which is not good after their own thoughts. That means these people do what they want to do. They do what they want to do. And if they're rebellious, that means they're a witch. Sit down, Lil. The vision of Yeshayahu, the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Yehuda and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Yehuda. Hear, O Shamahim, and give ear, O Arats, for Yahuwah hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox know his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Yasharal doth not know, my people doth not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters, they have forsaken Yahuwah, they have provoked the Kadesh one of Yasharal unto anger, they are gone away backward. Now, we've dealt with verse 5 and 6, right? You see how he say he nourished children? Get you Yukanan or John chapter 6, verse 38. Sit back and show you how he nourished children. Then we're going to sit back and say they don't even know their owner. You know why they don't know their owner? Because he came unto his own and his own received him not. They didn't even know that they just sit back. They the ox. They didn't even know their master's crib. They didn't even know that this was where they were supposed to dwell. Why you think John tell you that he came unto his own received him not? Because Yeshayahu, Isaiah done prophesied to you. He say they don't even know their master's crib. Say the ox don't even know his owner. Say because the people full of sin. That's why they screamed out crucifying. That's why he said I spread my hands out to a rebellious people. He said I'm sought behind the people that ain't called by my name. That's why Pilate's wife came and say, leave that just man alone. He out there with his hands spread. She said, leave that just man alone. She's seeking after me. She ain't called by my name. But I'm spreading my hands out here on this tree to this rebellion people. They saying kill it. Six and 38, John. 6 and 35, matter of fact. And Yahusha said unto them, I am the bread of life that come. He that come to me shall never hunger, and he that believe on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you that ye also have seen me and believe not. Woo! Remember what we said? Remember what Isaiah said? I mean, what Job said. Isaiah said, who is the arm of Yah revealed? Who have believed our report, right? So if you don't believe the report, right, then the arm going to be revealed. You're going to see the sun. Yes, see, that came to my mind first. But see, I was thinking about Job, actually. Because Job told you, he say, I heard of you with the ear, and now I see. Because faith come by hearing, hearing come by the word of Alahym. Y'all sitting back seeing the man manifest out the book. Don't even believe, which means you don't believe in the Father. That's why he say, search the scriptures. In them you think you have eternal life, but they testify of me. You ain't going to come to me that you might have life. Because he say, I know you. The love of Alahym is not in you, a sinful people. Laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers and corrupters, rebellious children. That's how we live, because it's always about what we want to do. That's our problem. We don't sit back and look at the framework that the Mashiach said. It was never about what he wanted to do. It was never about that. His will was never important. It was always the Father's will. And you know where our problem come in at? We don't want to live like he. We want what Yahusha got, but we don't want to do what he did. You know what I'm saying? What type of sense does that make? He said when he testified to Moses, he said Moses was faithful in all his house. But he said, but somebody came behind Moses who was greater than Moses because he was the house. He built the house. We got to learn to be faithful. But you know why we don't get faithful? Because our flesh go to wilding up. That's why he say they show much love. He say, but their heart is far from me. They worship me for nothing. If you're going to worship the man, it's got to be in Ruach and in truth. That means you got to be in the spirit. That means you got to be in the word. You got to be in the sun. You're going to serve him in the sun and in the word. I mean, you're going to follow his will. We don't want to do that. That's too hard, ain't it? Then he say this thing's simple. Ain't that what Paul told him? He said this thing's simple. We make it hard because we always trying to fit our will in with y'all will and make it y'all's will. That's how it happens to you. Come on, Leah. Get up, man. Get up, man. Get up. Leah. Man, you ain't in that much pain. Act like your foot broke. What contact? She might have did it. Come on, Leah. Y'all hold on. Come on. She ain't in no pain. She's coming up too fast. Going over there with your pack. Where's it? So what we at? Verse 37.
Show me.
See, say, all that the Father hath given me shall come to me, and him that come to me I will in no wise cast out. So you gotta sit back and look at it. We done dealt with that before, right? Remember, Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. The Father gave all that he had to the Son. If you belong to the Son, if you belong to the Father, he gonna give you to the Son. The Son will no wise get rid of you. You wonder why people get rid of. He say, my sheep hear my voice. He say, you hear me not, because you not of my sheep, as I told you. That's what something you gotta look at. Everybody don't belong to the man. Time prove it out, though. You know what I'm saying? Time proves it out. For I come down from Alahym not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. That's what we got to remember. If we're going to be like the Son, that's the mind you're supposed to have. He said, I didn't come down here to do my own will. I came to do the will of him that sent me. That's the mind you got to have. Hello? What's going on, Tony? So where was we at before that? Let's go back to Deuteronomy chapter 6. Deuteronomy 6 and 21. Hello? 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 Oh yeah, tomorrow is Pablo Creek, man. Pablo Creek Library. Pablo Branch. Pablo Creek Library. Conference room. Before I've been unforgotten. 6 and 21. Then thou shalt say unto thy son, we were Pharaoh's bondmen in Mizraim. Yahuwah brought us out of Mizraim with a mighty hand. That go to escaping the world, the corruption of the world through lust, right? And Yahuwah showed signs and wonders and great sore upon Mizraim, upon Pharaoh, and upon all his household before our eyes. And he brought us out from thence that he might bring us in to give us a land which he sware unto our fathers, that we might have great and precious promises, right? Mm-hmm. Yahuwah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yahuwah Alahym for our good always, that he might preserve us alive as it is this day. And it shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahuwah Alahym if he hath commanded us. So you know virtue is righteousness or is strength. It's faith. So when we turn around and we can look at Caleb and we can look at Yahushua son of Nun, and we seen that they stood in that virtue. Because they had faith. They added these things to their, get you Deuteronomy 6 and 1. They added these things to their faith. When they came in, they added that. You got to sit back and look at, you need to add that. Then we're going to sit back and look at a Mashiach telling the people to add that. You got to add that. If you don't have the strength of Yah, you don't have faith. If you don't have the righteousness of faith, if you don't have the righteousness of walking in the law, what do you have? You have nothing. That's why you ain't growing. See, now these are the commandments, the statutes, and the judgments which Yahuwah your Alahym command to teach to you, that you might do them in the land whither you go to possess it, that thou might fear Yahuwah thy Alahym to keep all of his statutes, and his commandments which I command thee, thou and thy son's son, all the days of thy life, that thy days may be prolonged. Hear therefore, O Yasharal, observe to do it, that it might be well with thee, that you might increase mightily. You're already telling me, that you might increase mightily. As Yahuwah Alahym of thy fathers have promised thee, in the land that flow with milk and honey. Hear, O Yasharal, Yahuwah your Alahym is one Yahuwah. Thou shalt love Yahuwah thy Alahym with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. The word don't be in y'all mind, because y'all ain't really hearing the word. Y'all listening to it. That's why it's easy for you to go off astray and do your own thing. That's why it's easy for you to do it. You could even sit back and look at when Moses came down off the mountain. He said, I didn't come down off this mountain to do my own will. He said, I came to do the will of him that sent me. He said that in Numbers 15. He said, these works are not of my own mind. You know what I'm saying? That's what he told. When he came down off the mountain, that's what he was coming down with. I didn't come down here to do what I wanted to do. I came to do the will of the person who sent me. What got Moses in trouble is he didn't do the will that the man sent him to do one time. He hit the rock instead of speaking to it. But Moses came down from Shamahim off that high mountain to do the will of him that sent him. So you see this here. That's why if you know the Father, you'll know the Son. You'd be able to put this stuff together. But y'all just think that stuff just to say, see, when Moses came off the mountain, that's Yahusha too. No, man, that's to show you this man came down to do the will of him who sent him. Y'all sent him to go teach the people and be an example to the people. Same way he sent my shot. Go down there and be an example and teach the people. Don't do your will, do mine. Then when they see you doing my will and not yours, they'll do it. But guess what we do? We don't catch that example. We just looking at the knowledge and information and like, oh man, bro, he pointing stuff out. You're not catching what I'm trying to show you. Because you know what that tells me? You carnal. You a babe. You can't handle the meat. And that ain't even no big piece of meat. You know what I'm saying? Is that a big piece of meat? That's it. Ain't no chicken wing, man. That's a whole drumette flat. You know what I'm saying? That ain't nothing major. But the actual illustration is, though, you know what I'm saying? Of not doing your will, doing the will of him that sent you, doing the will of him whom you serve. Now that is a big piece of meat that most people can't chew. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to look at. You see the framework of a pattern of behavior. You got to walk in that framework. You got to imitate that. That's why he said, you won't come unto me that you might have life. The people didn't want to come unto Moses. He said, you buck me, you provoke me continually. I can't give you these promises because of this. That's why he swore on his wrath. You can't come in here. You're not going to come in here. Because he already know you're going to defile my kingdom. Since I said that. Revelation 22 and 15. My apologies. Revelation 21 and 27. Y'all realize the people who walked in sin and lacked faith, they didn't get in, right? That's why they didn't get in. He said, there shall no wise enter into it anything that defile. Sinners not getting in. Neither whatsoever work abomination or make a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. Oh boy, don't you realize all the abominations that people worked in the wilderness? Worshiping idol gods. Murmuring against Yah. Working all manner of unrighteousness, sworn in wrath. You can't get in here. He turned around in Revelation, tell you the same thing. You're not getting in here. Ain't nothing like that gonna enter. He said, who was he displeased with in the wilderness? But those who didn't believe. Whose carcass is failing? You think he gonna kill a righteous man? You think he gonna kill a faithful man? You think he ain't gonna let him inherit the kingdom? No, I'm gonna kill a sinner. I'm gonna kill a transgressor. I'm gonna kill an unbeliever. I'm gonna kill the faithless. Because you have transgressed against me. Anything that is not of faith is sin. You know what I'm saying? You finish that Deuteronomy. Come on, 2 Peter chapter 2. All you got to go look at David standing in the strength of Yah when he stood up against Goliath. Huh? Look at Samson standing in the strength of Yah when he stood up against the Philistines. Huh? What about Nehemiah when the people tried to provoke him to be scared when he was rebuilding the wall? Stood in the strength of Yah. What about Jeremiah when he was locked up, when they wanted to kill him for preaching the word, telling him that Yah said, repent before I destroy this place and make it like Shiloh? What about Daniel? What about Hananiah, Mishael, and Hazariah? What about them? They were standing in the strength of Yah. You're supposed to look at that and see those examples and add that to your faith. That's virtue, that's righteousness. All right, I see if I can. I don't know if that'll get in on what we talking about this evening. We'll see what we can do. Think about that, right? Think about that. All these men had virtue. Even we sit back adding virtue or strength. Yahushua son of Nun and Caleb, when they went and searched the land out, they didn't have no fear of the giants. Huh? What about Yahushua son of Nun fighting Amalek when they were holding Moses' hands up while he was sitting on the rock? You know what I'm talking about? Ain't had no fear. They stood in the strength of Yah. That's the first thing you're supposed to add in virtue. Righteousness. Strength. That's the first thing you're supposed to add. Come on, buddy. So then guess what the next thing he said you need to add? To virtue, knowledge. Hey, what did he say? Proverbs chapter 2 verse 1. He said you need to add you some knowledge. Let me tell you about some knowledge. So we know what the knowledge is when they were in the wilderness, right? That's when he was sitting down teaching them the law, statutes, and commandments. We already read that in Deuteronomy 6 and 1. In order to serve y'all, you got to know what he will require, right?
Yes, sir.
You don't know what he required, ain't no way you're going to be able to know what the man wants you to do. That's why the son say, come unto me, search the scriptures. But you don't want to come to the man. You just want to be a nigga all your life. He say, my son, if thou will receive my words and hide my commandments with thee, that's the whole key thing. Faith come by hearing come by the word. Then you've been laid it up in your heart. But that's what y'all don't do. Don't you realize when you don't do that, you sinning? You don't take this man's words and hear him and lay him up in your heart. When you lay him up in your heart, that means you believe him. Because he said, man make confession out of the heart. You know what I'm saying? That's what Shaul told us in Romans about 10 and 10. Confession come out the heart because you believed it. You believed it. We're going to get to that right there, man, because that's talking about having hope. You know what I'm saying? A lot of y'all don't got no hope. See, I'm going to tell you this here because I was talking to somebody about this the other day. See, you know why you niggas ain't got no faith? Because you want to see it. You know what I'm saying? You look at it because you can't see it. It's not going to happen. But just like Abraham couldn't see Sarah having no baby at no 100 years old and he 90, he believed whom he served. Y'all already read that. That's why he was a friend of Alahym. That's why he was deemed righteous.
He was 100, she was 99.
You know what I'm saying?
What you saying?
I'm saying, see this guy right here, man? It's always one in the crowd, ain't
I know you probably gonna get all riled out there.
No, I'm just sitting back telling you though. I'm sitting here telling you though. He couldn't see that, but he believed it though. Since I said that, Hebrews 11 before I even read this.
I ain't sure not.
Hebrews 11.
That's right.
About verse 13.
I know you better be pooping on yourself.
Oh yeah, she doing it. Make it, matter of fact, make it 11. He say, through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithful who promised. That's what y'all problem is. Man, y'all can come tell y'all son, y'all don't believe him. I was talking to somebody about this last night. You go read about Zacharias, right? John the Baptist's daddy. The King came and told him he was going to have a son. He ain't believe it. But you know Isaiah 55 and 12, that man said, my word is not going to come back to me void. I'm going to get all my pleasure. Exactly what I said I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. You know what I'm talking about? He said exactly what I said I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. She judged him faithful, that promise. See, Zacharias said, man, I don't know. He said, don't worry about it. He said, I'm going to shut your mouth. You ain't going to speak till she had a baby. I bet you believe it then. Guess what happened? That baby came out. He opened up his mouth. He believed it then. Everybody wanted, man, Zacharias can't talk. What's going on? Because he ain't believe. That's what some of y'all problem is. Y'all don't hope against hope like Abraham did. Because you can't see it. So because you can't see it, you don't believe it. You can sit back and look at it naturally. Like Sarah did when she first told him that. Naturally, she laughed. Man, I ain't going to have no baby. But Ruach, inwardly, spiritually, she already know. Oh, I know y'all can do that. I know he can do that. I know he can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just funny to me because I was talking to somebody, they would tell me like, it'll take a miracle for something to occur. And boy, that's a light matter. If that's what y'all want done, it's light. If it's his will, it's light. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we be thinking is hard, that's why he say to men it is impossible. But to Alahym, all things are possible. You know what I'm talking about? We look at stuff and be like, boy, ain't no way in the world that's going to happen. Man, y'all can make that happen. Man, this man can make the sun stand still at his leisure. This man can shut the whole Shamayim up. You won't get a drop of rain. This man can make the whole earth shake to and fro like a drunkard. This man made a man from dirt. Boy, he took a man and resurrected him from the dead for the salvation of all men. Stuff like now. Verse 12. Therefore sprang there even one, and him as good as dead, says so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and the sand which is by the seashore innumerable. These all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. That's the problem. Y'all not persuaded of the promises. You not convinced. That's why y'all don't move on your behalf. You ain't embraced the promise. See, he told them, I will deliver you from these people and bring you into a land that flows with milk and honey. He telling you right now, I'm going to deliver you from these sinners and plant you in my kingdom. You not persuaded of it. You have not embraced it. That's why you ain't adding this stuff to your faith. Proverbs chapter 2. We in verse 2. See, when you add knowledge, then you know how y'all operate. And then that allowed me to work in what I was talking about with true repentance. So thank y'all because he worked this smooth. 2 and 2. So that thou incline thy ear unto wisdom and apply thy heart to understanding. See, that's what ends up happening when you open up your ear to hear the word and then it come into your heart. Because you know Mashiach been made unto you wisdom, and we know the son of Alahym has come to give us an understanding that we may know him that is true, and we are in him that is true, even his son Yahushua HaMashiach. This is the true Alahym in eternal life. You see, you'll end up fearing y'all and getting an understanding of the son and the scriptures and how to live if you open your ear up and lay the man words up in your heart instead of being a nigga all your life, instead of being rebellious all your life. It'll make a major difference for you. Verse 3, yea, if thou cry after knowledge and lift up thy voice for understanding, if thou seek her as silver and search for her as hid treasures, thou shalt understand the fear of Yahuwah and find the knowledge of Alahym. That's why he say, seek and ye shall find, knock and it shall be open. You got to seek the word. You got to seek salvation. He say, be diligent in seeking my commandments and do them. See a man diligent in his labor? He say that you follow after that same labor that you get a full reward. He say, for Yahuwah give wisdom out of his mouth. Yahuwah give wisdom out of his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He lay up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. All that go back, you look at Ephesians chapter 6, he is a shield that you be able to catch all the fiery darts of the wicked, right? Ain't that what he told you, Ephesians 6 by verse 12? Yes, sir. He say he'll catch all, he say he a buckler to them that walk blamelessly. Let's look at Ephesians 6 and 12 since I said it. Make it 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of Alahym, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girded about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, and above all taking the shield of faith, wherein you shall be able to quench the fiery darts of the wicked. And take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Ruach, which is the word of Alahym. So that's going, come on back over here to Proverbs, right? So you sit back and see that when you lay this man word up, he'll give you sound wisdom. He'll give you a sound way to go, which give you a sober mind, a clear mind. Man, you know how dumb that nigga got to be to try to make decisions and your mind ain't clear. You know how dumb that is. You're not gonna make a good decision and your mind ain't clear. You know the best when you see somebody's mind ain't clear, usually when they inebriated, right? They intoxicated, they high on something, they'll never make no good decision. So you sit back and look at your mind is cloudy, sound wisdom can't be in that. You're not going to make a good choice. That could cost you your life. What, verse 8, right? He say he keep the path of judgment and preserve the way of his Kadeshim. Thou shalt understand righteousness and judgment and equity in every good path. He say, when wisdom enter into thy heart, knowledge is pleasant unto thy soul. When the fear of Yah enter in your heart, for the knowledge of Yah is good to you. It's going to surpass all peace. Just listen what he tell you. Discretion shall preserve thee, understanding shall keep thee. The Epistle of Jude in verse 21. You know what that means? You know what discretion is? That means sound judgment. You're going to know what to do and what not to do. When the word is in you, you're not going to make a stupid decision. He said, keep yourselves in the love of Alahym. This is the epistle of Jude, the epistle of Yehuda, verse 21. Keep yourselves in the love of Alahym, looking for the mercy of our master Yahushua HaMashiach unto eternal life. And some have compassion in making a difference, and others save with fear, pulling them out of the fire, hating even the garment spotted by the flesh. Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling, and to present you faultless before the presence of his esteem, now with exceeding joy. See, they already said Mashiach able to keep you from falling. He said that's what understanding would do, right? Discretion will preserve thee, understanding to keep you from falling. Because the Mashiach is your understanding, because he has come for you to dwell in him. You ought to know how to move. You would understand the word. You're going to understand the Torah. You're going to understand the Tanakh because you understand the Mashiach. Because then when you know the Son, obviously you're going to know the Father, because the Son is revealing the Father to you. You can't get to the Father but through the Son. That means you got to be diligent in your labor. Come on, Proverbs chapter 2, but y'all don't hear me though. A lot of times I think y'all just think I just be talking. But when y'all come around there and crack you upside your dome, you're going to see I ain't talking. We still holding Yeshayahu Isaiah 65 too. I ain't done with it yet. That's what it was we had to do. That's why he say understanding to keep thee. The Son going to keep you. He's going to keep you back from committing sin. He's going to keep you back from making a great error. He's going to keep you back from bad judgment, because his word is pleasant to your soul. You know what I'm saying? It's something that pleasant is good to you. He say to deliver thee from the way of the evil man, from the man that speak froward things, who leave the path of uprightness to walk in the ways of darkness, who rejoice to do evil and delight in the frowardness of the wicked. See, the reason why we read that, because see in 1 Corinthians 13, right? It talk about how to rejoice in the truth and not in iniquity. That's why he tell us, blessed of him who don't stand in the way of sinners. And that's why we were talking about, even on the day of our immersions, about what? Come out from among them and be ye separate, touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive thee. Because the knowledge of Alahym will allow us to be able to escape the corruption of the world that is through lust. You know what I'm saying? Romans chapter 7. Paul will tell it a little better in Romans chapter 7, what I'm trying to say. Paul will tell us a little bit better. Romans 7:7. Romans 7:7. Romans 7:7. He say, what shall we say then? Is the law sin? Alahym forbid. Nay, I had not known sin but by the law. For I had not known lust, except the law had said, thou shalt not covet. But sin, taking occasion by the commandment, wrought in me all manner of conspicuance. For without the law, sin was dead. So when you ain't know you were wrong, sin wasn't alive in you. You know what I'm saying? I had conversations with people over the years all the time. Now I know people don't know the ins and outs and ends of the word like that. But I'm going to be honest with you. Most people know that what they doing is wrong. I remember a long time ago, man, this girl I knew, man, she was like, it was thundering real bad outside. And she was like, oh, I need to get my life together. I thought Jesus was coming back. I sit back and tell you, man, I don't care what a nigga say out their mouth. Deep down in your heart, you know you're going to hell. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, now, I wasn't raised in no church. But I'm sitting back telling you, boy, I know most of the people in that church know they're going to hell. Because they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Now, me, I was different. I knew I was going. Nigga, we smoking weed every day. We selling dope. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas running around here chasing hoes, doing all type of stuff, carrying pistols, breaking Shabbats every week. We know what we doing ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Like there was no way that we could convince ourselves that the Most High would be pleased with what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Because we know we out here. You know what I'm saying? But I done ran across, man, I remember one time, man, I was working at the house, man. Ho was a bulldagger too. You know what I'm saying? She standing here arguing with me, talking about her grandma a preacher. Hold on. Hello? Hello? Never mind. Girl say, what's going on, man? Say her grandma's a preacher, right? You know what I'm talking about? So I'm like, is she going to, she was like, so my grandma going to hell for preaching the word? I say, absolutely. How could you say that? I say, you wanted to talk. I said, why your grandma ain't tell you to get out them pants and get your face out that woman's crotch? You know what I'm saying? She had like she wanted to fight. You was a carpet muncher. You know you going to hell. You know what I'm talking about? What do you mean? Nigga been living with a woman for 4 years, ain't married to her, banging up every day. Nigga, you mean to tell me you know you ain't going, so you think you ain't going to hell? Are you serious? You know what I'm talking about? Nigga get drunk every day. So you think you ain't going to hell? This the nigga lying. You know, I'm just living the best that I can. Ain't nobody perfect. Once a nigga say that, you know you going. You already know you going. Man, that's just sitting back me. I'm just looking at it from my perspective, man. Nigga can't convince me of that, man. Niggas know they going to hell, man. Yeah. Niggas know, because you know what you do. You got to sit back and realize that, no, boy, you know that what you doing ain't right. You know what I'm saying? You know what you doing ain't right. You know it deep down. You might not you might not express it verbally, but deep down inside core of your spirit, you lay down, boy, you know you're not living right. You know it. You know what I'm saying? That's why it wasn't no big transition to move for me, because I ain't had none of that church stuff poison in my mind. Because I had never heard it. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I'm coming straight out of prison. So I already know, shoot, nigga, you know you can't be doing right. You just got out of prison. Who get out of prison doing right? If you were doing right, you wouldn't have been in prison. I had to sleep with niggas every day. Nigga to my left, nigga to my right, nigga above me. Niggas raping themselves. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up. You know what I'm saying? They raping themselves. You know what I'm saying? Nigga playing with punks. Some of these niggas around here. Then I was at a spot, niggas smoking crack, popping ecstasy. You know what I'm saying? Telling lies. Yeah, boy, I was selling much dope on the street. Man, I don't want to hear that, bro. Or you sit back and you at a facility, man, you look at a dude, he got 50 years. Life sentences, niggas getting stabbed. You know what I'm saying? Niggas chasing COs with knives. I enjoyed that, though. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind if chasing me one or two. You know what I'm saying? If they would have popped something off, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to y'all, because I'd probably have a life sentence and they'd have killed me. Because if they would have rioted in there and really wanted to take something over, I'd have been with it. Like, I don't even care if the feds here. Like, if these niggas were with me, I'm gonna ride. You know what I'm saying? I've been like that. Like, nigga, I ain't no killer or nothing. You want to take down these crackers? Oh, let's do it. You ain't saying nothing. I don't like them no way. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the United States government. Never have. Why would I? They lie, they steal, they kill, they rape, they rob, they pillage. You know what I'm saying? They hung my people from trees, fed them to alligator, all type of stuff. Man, I ain't got no love for these people, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga ready to, you can't sit back and do somebody people like that talking about, I don't want to ride. Yeah, I want to ride. Give me an AK-47 in one hand and a 50 caliber in the other.
Handle that.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, hey.
Stop it. Go in your room.
You know what I'm saying? That's serious, though. That's serious, though. Yeah, look at stuff like that, man.
You want some too?
See, like, nah, I'm straight. 7 and 7. We're 7 and 8, 7 and 9. He say, for I was alive with the law once, but when the commandment came, sin revived and I died. You sit back and look at it. All of that came in the wilderness. They had known sin till y'all told them. He said they was alive till that sin came dead. Because what happened to them? They got killed. He saying the commandment which was ordained to be life I found to be death. For sin taken occasion by the commandment deceived me, and by it slew me. Wherefore the law is Kadesh and the commandment Kadesh, just and good. So the law is going to show you what's wrong and what's not wrong. That's what's going to give you the discretion. That's what's going to keep you from evil people. That's why he said, come out from among them and be ye separate. This is what's going to keep you around from being defiled. That's what we were talking about last week. Evil communications corrupt good manners. The man is giving you knowledge to separate yourself from that. That's why he told you don't go back to Mizraim. Don't go back to sin. If that's why he said it was better for you to have never have heard it than to go back to sin. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have that amunah or that firmness or that strength or that faith or that virtue to stand on the word in the face of everything. No matter what you would lose, you would rather lose that than lose your God. You know what I'm talking about? Well, you got niggas rather keep their job and lose y'all than lose their job. That man say, set aside the weight that easily beset. He says, lay aside every weight and the sin that easily beset us, and let us run the race with patience. You know what I'm saying? You just sit back and look at that. For sin is a dangerous thing. It ain't nothing to play with. And it's a thin line between a righteous mind and a reprobate mind. It's a thin line between it. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no thing to be playing around and towing the line. It's a thin line. And once you cross that line of reprobate status, boy, the chance of coming back is next to none. Because I ain't read nowhere in the book where somebody got turned reprobate and came back. Because the book say reprobate silver shall he call them, for Yah has rejected them. Once you get the reprobate status, boy, he done with you. You got to be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure your mind stands still. That's why that wisdom and understanding is supposed to be in your heart. That's why he say, it take my commandments and lay them up in your heart. He say, understanding will guide you. Wisdom will be in you. It will preserve you. Discretion. You're going to know how to walk. You're going to have a sober and clear mind. You're going to have to gird up the loins of your mind. Sitting back saying that you've been placed in this man's death, that's how you ought to move from this point forward. You got to look at it that way. Come on back to 2 Peter. Or Isaiah 65. Let me finish that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff I'm telling you, man. I done seen a lot of people come and go. I done seen a lot of people do a lot of things, man. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't stand in their door, man. Like I said, man, you know, I done said it before. Long before this here, like I said it last year, like a year from now, it's going to be some people ain't going to be here. And just like this, and guess what? A year from today, y'all be merciful to keep us alive. It might be some of y'all ain't around here no more. You know what I'm saying? Just sit back and look at it. How real this is to you, man. Mommy. You know what I'm saying? Look at I'm going to read verse 2 again, though.
Go sit down. No.
He said, I have spread out my hands all the day unto a rebellious people, which walk in a way that was not good after their own thoughts. A people that provoke me to anger continually to my face, that sacrifice in gardens and burn incense upon altars of brick. You know, they provoked the Mashiach to his face in the 3rd chapter of Mark when he went to heal that man's hand who was withered and he was moved with anger. Because they were provoking him because they wanted to have a reason to blame him for healing somebody on the Shabbat. Provoked him to anger right to his face. Y'all sit back and look at some of the simple stuff y'all be doing. Y'all don't know if y'all moving this man to anger. That's why he told you, remember and forget not that you provoked me in the wilderness all the time. That's why he say, be ashamed of your doings, or your whole house of Yasharal, be ashamed. He said, I don't do this for your sake. He said, I do this for my Kadesh name's sake. You think he sent a Mashiach down here just for you? I mean, I do this for my name. Y'all got my name bad out here in the street. He said you contrary to other whores. He said they give gifts to all whores, but he said you give your gifts to all your lovers. Therefore, thou art contrary. He didn't do that for you. Matter of fact, he did that for the fathers. He made a promise to them. He did it for them. Because y'all is not a man that he should lie. But let me show y'all something in the book of Job.
Thank you. Whoa.
I think it's 32. 33 and 24. Actually, yeah, 33 and 24. Job 33 and 24. I'm going to try to work a lot. Y'all work with me. I'm going to show y'all something. This talking about like this here, right? Because we provoked them to anger, right? So when you end up provoking them to anger, then it's something that he gonna do. He gonna cut you off or he gonna correct you. So we're gonna look at that. He say, then he is gracious unto him and saith, deliver him from going down into the pit. I have found a ransom. Well, we know who a ransom is, because in the 20th chapter of Metayahu or Matthew, Mashiach said he came to give his life as a ransom for many. His flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his youth. What y'all think that could mean by his flesh be fresher than a child? He returned to the days of his youth. What y'all think that could mean? Absolutely. Let's look at the 17th chapter of John. So guess what that means y'all supposed to be seeking to do? And he done found the ransom and delivered you from the pit. Don't y'all realize when you came up out that water, that was the ransom that brought you up out the pit? Now your flesh supposed to be fresher than a child going back to the days of your youth. You supposed to be going back to the beginning like Adam. Hold on. Who know what Adam's name means? Completely. I had this on reserve. Yeah, and it was something else too that was in it that I was looking at. I'm going to read it too. Hebrew word Adam, right? You got a couple things that act as just what you just mentioned, human or the ground. But he say Adam is not a personal name within the text. The word literally means human. Within the word human, we see the word blood. The word also means red, and it also represents the word for ground. The word Adam means first with blood or first from the ground. Which we know he was first from the ground, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to show y'all something with that in a minute. Y'all just bear with me. Because if you deliver from the pit, then where you at? In the ground, right?
Yes, sir.
That way you at, right in the ground, right? So let's look at the 17th chapter of Deuteronomy. 17 and about 2, I guess my page all tore up, but it'll be all right. I know what it says. He said, as thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given him. And this is life eternal, that they may know thee, the true Alahym, and Yahushua HaMashiach, whom thou hast sent. I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gavest me to do. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thy own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. Because in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with Alahym, and the Word was Alahym. And in him was the light, and the light was the light of men. So when he talking about going back to the days of his youth, he talking about going back to how he started in the beginning. This is going back talking about being them stars you see in Shamahin. This being a light under all men. This is being eternal again. This man went from being eternal, came down and became a man to become blood or the first of the ground. Look at Colossians 1 and 18. So guess what that means, right? When you came up out the water, you've been birthed into the family of the first that came from the ground. But you just thinking you got up out some water. So I'm telling you, man, boy, everybody got to stand and endure. Ain't no excuse for now one of y'all been immersed to be around here sinning. You know what I'm saying? It makes absolutely no sense. You know what I'm talking about? That means you really did not fully encapsulate what you got yourself into. You supposed to be a son of y'all now. Can't be around here sinning. That's retarded. That means you'd have to kill the man again. That thing say he died under sin how many times? One time. One time. Y'all better stay sick. And it's getting close to time for the feast again. It's getting time to drink that cup again. Man, it's not no joke. It's not no game. This ain't no meaningless ritual. You're supposed to get to understanding what you get yourself into. But y'all don't look at it that way. Because the things in this life is pulling at you. That's why you ain't bringing forth no fruit. The cares and affairs of this life choke off the word. It don't bring forth no fruit. And you know what happens when if a branch don't bring forth no fruit? He say take that fig tree and dung it and burn it. It's good for nothing. Just sit back and look at that, man. You got to weigh that. 1 and 17, I'll take it. Make it 15. I use 14 too. Because then they say first the blood too. So we're going to do 14 too. Colossians 1 and 14. He say, in whom we have forgiveness through his blood, even the forgiveness of sin. So sitting back looking at Adam's name and sitting back telling you how the man was coming back to forgive sin. That's why he said the first Adam was made a living soul. The second Adam was made a quickening ruach. He was come to make you alive. He said, I found him a ransom to make his flesh fair than fresh as a child, as in the days of his youth. Because we know in the book of Job in the 13th chapter, he told him he'd make him possess the iniquities of his youth. He'll take on the sins of Adam to remove that from you. Y'all don't weigh that because you're too busy being stiff-necked. That's why your faith ain't growing nowhere. You ain't added these things. That's why he say when you add the knowledge of the son of Alahym that you might abound more and more. That's why he say, let the love of Hamashiach dwell in your hearts by faith. It's going to dwell in your hearts by faith because you heard the word. You laid the man instructions up in your heart. And understanding would preserve thee. Wisdom would be with thee. But you don't think like that because you're too busy being a nigga. You're too busy being carnal. I say now I'm talking about being carnal. How you going to be saved being carnal? This man say flesh and blood can't inherit his kingdom. You're going to have to become spiritual. You can't keep being carnal. You can't sit back and look at it. I'm just pointing out this stuff. See, that's a Mashiach right here in Job 33. That's not why we looking at that. We looking at that for you to follow a framework of behavior. This man said, I found a ransom to deliver you out of the grave. The first with blood. The first from the ground. Now when you turn around and look at it, when you came up out that water, that means you became a partaker of the first that came out the ground. That he could make you as in the days of your youth, that you could be them stars that Abraham seen. That you could be a son of Alahym. This ain't just about immediately pointing stuff out for informational purposes. You're supposed to be catching a concept and following. But y'all just listening. You're not hearing the man. That's why you're not getting the spirit. That's why you're not growing like you're supposed to. It's just something for you to do. If it's something for you to do, just put it down. And just do you. That's it. That's all you got to do. You can be just like your ancestors in Exodus 32, man. Go make you a feast, go eat, drink, and play. Or you can be like them Levites that say, who on y'all side? They say, we is. They stood with him with their sword girded on their side. Ready to go to war for the man's sake. You're supposed to be ready to go to war with the world and the devil to save your soul. But instead, you eating, drinking, and playing with a golden calf. He said, who is the image of the invisible Alahym, the firstborn of every creature. For by him were all things created that are in Shamahim, that are in Arats, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers or things, all things were created by him and for him. Hello? Oh, I'm sweating. Hello? All right then. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. He is the head of the body, the synagogue, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have preeminence. That's how he'd be able to give him a ransom to deliver him from the pit. You know what was the ransom to get a Mashiach from the pit? Because you remember that with Cain, that his blood cried out to him from the ground. How you think a Mashiach was able to be heard and that he feared? His blood cried out to the man. And when that man blood on you, his blood crying out to you, he gonna save you. Come on back to Job, man.
Sit down.
I got another thing in my head. I was explaining this to somebody yesterday. Hey, come get up, man. Our hands starved. and 25. And I ain't even realized 26 said it. 26 saying the same exact thing I just said. He said, his flesh shall be fresher than a child's. He shall return to the days of his youth. That's just like a Mashiach. A Mashiach returned to his space. He say, sit there at my right hand till I make thy enemy thy footstool. And after he purged our sins with his own blood, he went back to the majesty on how to sit down at this man's right hand. And the Mashiach told you, if you overcome, you'll sit down in my throne as I sat down in my father's throne, and you'll return to the days of your youth because you'll be as I am. That's why we read that Wednesday. He said, we shall see him as he is. He said, the world, he said, what manner of love hath the Father bestowed upon us, that we might be called the sons of Alahym. Therefore the world know us not, because it knew him not. Ain't nowhere in the world you a son of Yah and a sinner look at you and they know you. They supposed to look at you and say, I don't know him, because they don't know Yah. How in the world a sinner look at you and know you? That don't make no sense. We supposed to be strange to these people, a peculiar treasure. Are odd people to these people, because we don't live like they live, we don't do like they do. Like it said in Esther, man, it said their laws are diverse than ours. They don't do what we do. Nobody got no business looking at you can relate to you. And you supposed to be a son of Yah. We supposed to be odd to these people. We supposed to stand out. They say they got customs ain't lawful for us to observe. That's how they look at us. We don't do that stuff they do. Them niggas crazy. I take pride in that. People look at me like, boy, that nigga different from me. I don't take no pride in it as if that lift me up. I take pride in that lift up my power. Because he ain't like these people. We are not of this world. He said, you are of this world. He said, that's why the world hear you. If you were not of the world wouldn't hear you. They wouldn't know you. Why you think they know of Mashiach? He told them, I'm not of this world. I told you. Sinner look at me. Sinner don't know me. You know what I'm talking about? I'll tell you one thing though, I can spot a Kadeshim though, you can spot them. That's what they say, right? Real recognize real. Another Kadeshim can spot another one. Just like a sinner can spot a sinner. He said he shall pray unto Alahym. This verse 26. He will be favorable unto him. He shall see his face with joy. He will render unto a man his righteousness. That's what a Mashiach did. He said he heard that he feared. How did he pray to Alahym? He heard that blood. Even before he died, he said in flesh, he came with him with strong supplication and tears. You read John 17. You know what the man prayed for. Even if blood cried out to him, he said, let me render this man in righteousness. He believed in me. He kept my word unto the end, even unto death. That's what y'all be ready to fall out and faint and even realize you ain't even resisted sin under blood. Yet ain't none of you niggas shed no blood not to sin. And you about to fall out. Type of junk that is. Any of y'all ever resisted sin, shed blood not to sin? How many of y'all done shed your blood not to sin?
In a different fashion.
Verse 27. He said, he look upon men. If any say I have sinned and perverted that which was right, and it profited me not, he will deliver his soul from going into the pit. His life shall see the light. Lo, all these things work Alahym oftentimes with man, to bring back his soul from the pit, to be enlightened with the light of the living. That's repent and be baptized in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. I said I ain't did that which was right. Don't you realize that's what Paul did? Look at Acts chapter 9 and see what I'm talking about. Don't y'all realize that's what Paul did? He says that any man who perverted that which is right. See, this is what we talking about is instantaneous repentance. 9 and 1. See, a lot of y'all ain't never seen no, boy, I'm telling you, boy, when y'all come see you, I bet you get right. If you don't get right when y'all come see you, you can't be a y'all. Ain't no way. That man says, as many as I love, I chasten and rebuke. Be zealous, therefore, and repent. Zealous means passionate. I mean, you're going to do that from the heart. Say, godly repentance is not to be repented of. That works salvation unto life. Worldly sorrow work death. You around here sorry about the things of the world, you going to hell. You supposed to be sorry. You sin against y'all. That's supposed to make you so sorry you'll never do it again. All you got to do is look at King David. And then it said King David only said that that one matter, didn't it? That's the only time he went astray. He didn't do nothing else. Y'all came and seen him straight to his face too, didn't it?
Yes, sir.
So like this here, he seen that right there. We see he got that right. He had pronounced death on himself. He said, man, he said, David, that man is you. He said, oh boy, y'all be merciful. He said, I put your sin away. Because you know why he put that man's sin away? He know he wasn't going to do it again. Some of y'all, like you sit back and look at it, he know you going to go back and do it again. You itching to do it. And Saul, yet breathing out threatenings and slaughter against disciples of Amashiach, went unto the high priest, and desired of him letters to Damascus to the synagogue, that if he found any of this way, whether they were men or women, he might bring them bound unto Jerusalem. And as he journeyed, he came near Damascus, and suddenly there shined around about him a light from Shammahim. And he fell to the arras, and heard a voice saying, Saul, Saul, why persecute thou me? And he said, who art thou, master? And the master said, I am Yahushua, whom thou persecute. Is it hard for thee to kick against the prick? You know why he said that? I'm him who you persecute? Because he said, when you did it to the least of these, you did it to me. See, y'all don't realize when you come against somebody who in the body of Mashiach, you actually sin against Mashiach. You know what I'm saying? Well, the book tell you like this here. He say, whoever lead the righteous out astray, he say that sword gonna fall on that person who did that. You know what I'm talking about? Because you ain't sinned against the righteous, you actually sinned against Mashiach. You know what I'm saying? If you in the body of Mashiach and somebody entice you to sin, or somebody come put their hands on you, or somebody kill you, somebody lock you up, whatever the case may be, that fall on Mashiach. You did that to him because we are his body, we are his members. You not people don't sit back and realize what they doing. You don't even realize if you in Mashiach and you sin, then you have made him a sinner. Y'all don't realize what you doing. That's why he says, shall the Mashiach be joined to a harlot? Alahym forbid. He said, he that is joined to a Mashiach is one ruach. You got to realize what you doing. How many of y'all bold enough to make Mashiach a sinner? You know, they don't tell you that on Sunday, do they? They tell you that on Sunday. Shoot, half them niggas don't tell you that on the Shabbat afternoon. I put it this way, they don't tell you that on the first day, and you know most of these Hebrews ain't telling you that on the seventh day. They not going to tell you that there, man. That's serious right there, man. You don't realize, I mean, even for people in the world, that's why he say, touch not my anointed. Don't touch my people. You touch my people, you touch me. You know what I'm saying? And you touch me, I'm going to come see you. You don't realize when you sin, you didn't just sin, you made him a sinner. I bet if you sit back and you understand that in your brain, you'll think about the idiotic stuff you're going to do before you go do it. Verse 6, and he trembling and astonished said, Master, what wilt thou have me to do? And the master said unto him, Arise and go into the city, it shall be told thee what thou must do. Then you know that Paul ended up going blind, right? Now look at the 22nd chapter of the same book of Acts of the Apostles. And we'll look at verse 13. Now you know Paul was blind for about, what, 3 days, right? That man got his eyes back open, boy. Paul ain't get back and go doing what he was doing before. That's when, see, and who came to see him? Yahusha came to see him, right? So Alahym came and straightened him to his faith. But I'm telling you, boy, when the Most High come see you, boy, I bet you get right. See, a lot of y'all ain't got right because y'all just hear the word and you like, you hear, you get pricked, get your stinking nasty behind up and go sin as soon as it's over with. You know what I'm talking about? But boy, when he come see you, this is what I was explaining to somebody last night. When he come see you, boy, I bet you get that right. You know what I'm saying? I bet you get that right. It's instantaneous when he do it. See, I can tell you something because I sat there and did it. I tell some of y'all stuff, man. Y'all don't hear it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. But boy, let y'all come see you. Boy, if you got any type of fear y'all in you, I bet you get right. I bet you get right. You know what I'm talking about? I wouldn't care how big, how small it was. I bet you get right. He say, came unto me, well, verse 12. Well, this Paul telling the story. And one Ananias, a devout man according to the law, having a good report of all the Yahudim which dwelt there, came unto me and stood and said unto me, Brother Saul, receive thy sight. The same hour I looked upon him. And he said, the Alahym of our fathers hath chosen thee, that thou should know his will, and see that just one, and should hear the voice of his mouth. For thou shalt be his witness unto all men of what thou hast seen and heard. And now why tarry thou? Arise and be immersed, and wash away thy sins, calling on the name of Yahuwah. Well, you sit back and look at it. When you went in that water, that was to wash away your sins. That water was supposed to also symbolize how Mashiach was covered in his own blood. Remember, say truth life in the street. Remember a master who laid in the street, wallowing in his own blood. No. How else would there be a napkin there with his blood on it for the tokens of his virginity unless the man was in his blood? When we know this man washed away our sins in his own blood. It's the first of blood, right? The first of the ground. Now you supposed to sit back and look at that. We are the firstborn of his creatures, the first fruits of the Ruach, so to speak. You supposed to move accordingly. Boy, Paul got up. Paul didn't persecute the body no more. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 16. It is 1 Timothy chapter 1 and about verse 15. Had the verse right, had the pistol right. 1 Timothy 1, 15. Y'all all right? Man, gotta get it right, man. Let's sit back and look at it, man. It's not a game.
Yes, sir.
He said, this is a faithful saying worthy of all exception, that Yahushua HaMashiach came into the world to save sinners, of whom I am chief. Because he told you that. He said, I ain't come to call the righteous to the repentance, but sinners. The word don't profit no righteous man. He already walking in it. He said, howbeit for this cause, I'm sorry, I had to back it up in verse 12, 13, what I wanted. He said, I thank Yahushua HaMashiach, our master, who have enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry, who was before a blasphemer and a persecutor and injurious, but I obtained mercy because I did it ignorantly and unbelief. Now I'm going to sit back and tell you, right? Just a situation where he straightened me on, like, you know it, then you might be knowing you doing something, but you don't know the depths of what you were doing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, I didn't know the depths of what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Or how it was really offending him. You know what I'm saying? It offended the individual, but it also offended him. You know what I'm talking about? So when he come in the same fashion and let me know, like, boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, not doing that no more. It's that simple. You know what I'm saying? It just ain't no epiphany on my own. You know what I'm saying? That's y'all coming to straighten you about that. You know what I'm talking about? Once he come to straighten me about that, he let me know, like, son, you see this right here? And this is actually why you did it like that, son. And this is why you did this. And this is why you did that. Don't do that no more. Tenfold. Say no more. That's not going to be done no more. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's happened when you got that faith and conviction in y'all to sit back and look at when the man show you this ain't. You know what y'all realize, man, you walking in that road, man, that it's going to be changed. It's going to be made. It's changes we done made on a lot of stuff since we've been doing this. I ain't even talking about in the last 6 months. I'm talking about over the course of 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? You walking the road to be made perfect. You know what I'm saying? And in that road to be made perfect, this man is going to straighten you. But the time coming when you get straightened, what you going to do? Don't y'all remember when we were talking about looking at if we needed to adjust the month, that we couldn't be like the other people we look at who can't humble themselves and straighten themselves? And then you tell me y'all would come see you and you can't take the straightening from the man whom you say you love? That you're going to have a process of time to correct yourself? Ain't no way in the world you believe in trusting the man. Because boy, I'm telling you, boy, if Yahushua come to you, boy, I'm talking about in whatever manner where you know it's him, he let you know you're doing something wrong. That's all it should take. That's all it should take. That's all it should take. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, boy, you can sit back and you can run a check on yourself and you still might fall in the pattern of behavior. Sometimes maybe another person come and check and you might fall in the same pattern of behavior. Maybe you even hear the word and that do it. But boy, when he comes see you, boy, I bet you get right. Man, y'all chill out, man. Good grief. Come on back over here to Job. We still gonna get to that second
Listen,
piece.
come here, Liz. Listen, come here.
Job 34 and 29.
Come here.
I got another thing in Job for the same matter, and we're tied in the Mashiach along with it. We may not go read all the precepts, but I'll drop them on you though.
Yeah, stop it.
34 and 29. When he give quietness, then who can make trouble?
Shit, stop it.
And when he hide his face, who then can behold him? Whether it be done against the nation or against a man only. Well, this man turn himself from you, what you gonna be able to do? This man said, this man give you shalom, who can make trouble for you? That's why he say, my peace I leave you with. Look at John 14. Don't you realize he turned his face on Yasharal? Get your Deuteronomy 32 and 20, go long after this John 14 and about 25. And then after you get your Deuteronomy 32 and 20, get your Romans chapter 8. About verse 30. John 14 and 25. Make it 23.
Sit down. No, sit down.
Yahusha answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. It's going right back to what we were talking about in Proverbs chapter 2 when he's talking about add knowledge. Because if you heard his words, you'll keep him because he'll give you that knowledge. And then you would love the Father, and the Father would love you. You got to ask yourself, who do you really love? Who do you really love?
No.
Where does your desire really lie? Is your desire to your husband? Who is your husband? You know who your husband is. He told you in Isaiah 54, Yahuwah is your husband. Thy maker is your husband. Your desire should be to him. You should love him and want to please him.
Don't do that.
He said, he that love me not, keep not my sayings, and the word which you hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. Ain't that the same thing Moses told them people? He said, man, the word I say unto you, it ain't mine, it's his that sent me. These things have I spoken unto you, being yet present with you. But the Comforter, which is the Ruach HaKodesh, whom the Father will send in my name, he shall teach you all things and bring all things to your remembrance, whatsoever I have said unto you. Shalom I leave with you. My shalom I give unto you. Not as the world give I unto you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Ain't that what he said? If he gives quietness, who can bring trouble? That's what he telling them. He said, I'm not giving you the peace that the world gives. I'm giving you mine. That's why he say worldly sorrow work death. You know what I'm talking about? No. You're supposed to be seeking the peace that comes from Yah. You can't get the peace that comes from Yah when you carnal and your flesh is fighting to stay alive. You're not going to be able to get it. We're talking about a peace that surpasses all understanding. You know what I'm talking about? That's when you lay down and go to sleep at night, know your soul going to be preserved. Knowing your heart don't condemn you before Alahym. Deuteronomy 32 and 20. He talking about turning his face on a nation or a man who can turn him back. sit around and play with it. That's what I'm talking about being reprobate. That man turned his back on you, boy. It's a wrap. 32 and 17, make it 16 even better. 32 and 16. He said they provoked him to jealousy with strange gods, with abominations provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils and not to Alahym, to gods whom they knew not, to new gods that came newly up, whom your fathers feared not. Of the rock that begat thee, thou art unmindful and hast forgotten Alahym that formed thee. And when Yahuwah saw it, he abhorred them because of the provoking of his sons and of his daughter. That man sat back and hated. Remember, he said, this is a people that provoke me to anger to my face. They do the things that are not good. They go after their own thoughts. Stubborn, stiff-necked people. He said, I will hide my face from them. I will see what their end shall be, for they are a very forward generation, children in whom is no faith.
Peter himself.
You see what he said? I'm gonna hide my. He said, I'm gonna turn my back on you, and I'm gonna see what happened to you. You know what that comes? You know what that ends up being? Something that somebody mentioned to me like this here, because they say somebody said that I let people crash and burn. You know why I let people crash and burn? Because just like Leon told you, I done already told you. You know what I'm talking about? So since you don't want to listen, and you want to do what you want to do anyway, I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna watch you crash and burn. You know what I'm talking about? That's all that means. That's where I get that from, because y'all does it. We're not going to keep warning you and keep telling you and keep telling you and keep telling you. I'm going to go ahead and let you do it and let you see what your end going to be. That's what y'all do. That's why I do that, because I know how y'all operate. When you don't know how y'all operate, you just think I'm doing something just to be nasty and be stupid. We're not finna keep telling you the same thing over and over again. I'm not finna keep warning no grown person, don't do that. This is what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? By the grace of Yahuwah, boy, my accuracy is on 100%. Because I'm looking at it basing off according to the word, not off appearance. Not off the flesh. Off the word. You know what I'm talking about? But niggas don't listen though. They don't listen. That's our problem. That's been Yasharal's problem from the day we were born. We don't listen. It's always, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. I lived like that for 28 years. But when the word came, I realized something. My way ain't going to cut it. It's trying to do something different. My way has not worked. It ain't worked. It's trying to do something different. And this ain't the first time I've ever said this. It might be the first time some of y'all done heard it. But I'm telling you, man. When that word came May 2009, boy, I seen, boy, your way hasn't worked. It's time to do something different. You don't know what you're doing. You know, ain't no shame in sitting back saying, I don't know what I'm doing. You know, that's one of the biggest things. It's hard for people to sit back and say, boy, I don't know what I'm doing. Boy, I had to look at y'all and say, boy, I don't know what I'm doing. Show me which way I ought to go, because I don't know where I'm going. I'm lost. I'm blind. I'm in darkness. You know what I'm saying? Man, thanks, man. Come on with all that, man. You got to leave the room. They're trying to get you away. Nobody cares. Nobody falls for those tears. That's real talk, though, man.
I do sometimes.
That's real talk, though, man. We got to sit back and look at that. That's Yasharal's biggest problem. That's why he say rebellion is as witchcraft. Stubbornness is as sin and idolatry and iniquity. When you stubborn and you want to do what you want to do, the man say you lawless. You ain't got no God. You your own God. You your God. Your God is your belly, your desires. You serve yourself. You a pleaser of man, not a pleaser of y'all. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. We don't think about stuff like that. We don't really weigh it out that the word be condemning the stuff we be doing, man. You know what I'm saying? It's showing us this. You're not going to be made perfect like this. You know what I'm saying? Your will and your way is going to damn you. We don't look at it that way because our will and our way is so important. Come on to Romans 8 and 30. That man turned his back on Yasharal. You living it. You in America living it. You in America living it. This man has turned his face from you. You living it. You think it's a game though. Romans 8 and 30. He say, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn amongst many brethren. Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called, and whom he called, them he also justified, and whom he justified, them he also glorified. What shall we say to these things? If Alahym be for us, who can be against us? He that spared not his own son, but delivered him up for us all, how shall he not with him also freely give us of all things? He turned his back on his son too. He turned his face from Saul too. Turned his face from a lot of people. And he let them things befall them. Well, you don't want Yah to turn his face from you. You don't want that to happen. Because when he turns his face from you, it's over. He's going to give you over to a reprobate mind to do those things that are not convenient. That's what happens. He turned his face from us as a nation, and we've been doing the things that are not convenient. You got Will Smith's son, around here is the face of Louis Vuitton women's wear. This nigga is in a national campaign with a dress on. This nigga is a Peter Puffer, man. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. These people the police kill us dead in the street every day with impunity. They sell us dope, they put dope in our neighborhood, lick in our neighborhood. Our people around here fornicating, got bastard children. You know what I'm saying? Our households in disarray. Our women dressed like whores. Our sons dressed like women. We ain't got no love one for another. We idol worshipers. We got Stockholm syndrome. We love our oppressors more than we love each other. We'll rather spend with the white man than spend with your own brother. You'd rather go work for the white man and start your own business and work for yourself and put your own brother on and give him a job. You know what I'm saying? Mouth is firmly around this man's buttocks. You act like you can't survive without him. You look to him. He your God. He your master. That's the state we in, because this man done turned his face from him. And you know the word part is, we love it. You know what I'm saying? That's why we sit back and we look at, I done told you before, you know, Farrakhan said it before. You know, black people are the only people who pick a mate based on the waist down. You know what I'm saying? You know, black people will pick a mate based on their sexual prowess. We the only race of people who do this. You don't never hear about Asian people picking a mate based on how freaky they get. You know what I'm saying? We the only race of people who do that. All type of stuff. We pick a mate based on how pretty we think the kid's gonna look. We the only people who do that. I'm talking about verbalize it in the open that we do stuff like that. We the only group of people walk up to somebody and say, you gotta be mixed. You can't be that pretty and be all black. We the only people who do that. This is what happened when your God turned his back on you and see what your end gonna be. And y'all don't even sit back and look at that as you living literally what the book said, and you're not gonna do what this man tell you to do. You're not gonna follow sound judgment. You're not gonna take counsel. You're just gonna do what you want to do. And he gonna let you see what your end gonna be. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to let me see what my end gonna be. Because whatever he tell me not to do, I ain't gonna do it. Because I don't even want to find out what the end gonna be. I'm straight. I don't want to find out how that story. I don't want to learn the hard way. I'm straight on that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want friends who don't want to serve y'all. I'm straight on that. I don't want a spouse who don't want to serve y'all. I'm straight on that. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to hang with, I don't want to deal with my family that don't want to serve. I see you when I see you. And I want to try to keep that at a minimum. You know what I'm talking about? Because I'm straight on that. I'm straight on that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I get intertwined with you, I know what can happen. Because I'm still, just because you got the word in you does not change that you flesh and blood. You know what I'm talking about? That don't change that. That don't change that. You mess around, man. I can mess around, go to my cousin's house. You know what I'm talking about? Niggas smoking blacks and reefer. You next thing you know, you go around there too many times, be around there too long. That reefer go to hit you know. You done been in kind of contact, and you be like this here, man, go on here, let me hit that. Boy, I thought you ain't smoke, man. Look here, boy, that stuff smelling good. Yeah, boy, that's that purple too. Oh, this some mild wild, nigga. Oh, this some new stuff. Look at it. Next thing you know, you smoking reefer again. You know what I'm talking about? Next thing you know, you sipping a beer. Next thing you know, you trying to slide out, trying to make a justification in your head to slide to the club Friday night. Or as soon as the Shabbat ends, go hit a party you know you ain't got no business being at. You know what I'm saying? That's how it started. Ain't none of y'all, I'm sitting here telling you, man, because I know this from reading the word. No righteous person is going to convert no sinner. Only the word going to do it. You know what I'm saying? The word the only thing can do it. From according to the word, sinners convert chastisement to being sinners again. You know what I'm talking about? So that means you got to guard your heart. And see, I'm just talking about like period. Like when you out here in this world, that's why he told you don't love this world. Because this whole world, Babylon is all set up to convert you. You know what I'm saying? He said, come out of my people, be ye not partakers of her sins, that her plagues don't be on you, right? So man, you've been done thought to come up out of Babylon, and if you ain't careful intermingling with Babylon, it could been done brought you back. It been done brought you back. Because what happens is you remember when you used to do this, 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 and this. And then the people around you doing this, 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 and this. And then you might forget the reward that Alahym say he gonna give them for doing this. And then you can end up returning back to folly. It's not as difficult for that to happen as one might believe. You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
When he tell you that you sanctify people, that what that means. You separate yourself from amongst the people. You know what I'm talking about? It's just that serious. It's just that serious. I ain't saying back like it, man. I'm not saying like one interaction is gonna damn you or nothing. You know what I'm talking about? But it's a continual type of thing. It's a continual type of thing because you're gonna get used to it. Like I told you, there's no way in the world a sinner should ever be comfortable being around a chastisement. It should never happen. Because anything that they do, you're gonna mention that you don't do that and you want to get from around that. You know what I'm saying? To the point they're not gonna want to be in your company. That man say, blessed are when men separate you from their company for my name's sake. So if people are not separating themselves from your company for Yahushua's sake, you're not blessed. That's what the book say. People supposed to, I'm talking about you don't just necessarily separate yourself from them. They start coming around you. Huh? Some of y'all, is that happening to some of y'all? Any of y'all on that phone, that don't happen to some of y'all, people start messing with you? They start messing with you because who you serve. Come on back to Job. I'm telling you, man, this world don't love y'all, man. I done had too many people looking at my face talking about how much they love y'all, boy, and they were lying. So I don't go for that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like this here, man. When it comes to that there, I'm real cynical. I'm cynical because I done had too many people come around in the course of 3+ years talking about, boy, there's a dude used to come to the townhouse all the time, bro. All the time. He don't even believe in the Mashiach, man. He don't even believe in him no more. They on some Egyptology. Now, he don't even, I would say believe in the Mashiach. He don't even mess with the book no more. I'm talking about 2013, man. It ain't even been a full 3 years. He been put the book down, though. He put the book down probably about middle of last year. He used to bring his wife and all to the house, man. We be going through the word. Man, don't even believe the word no more. But if you would have seen him at that time, you'd have thought he was gun-ho with it. But it was little subtle stuff we used to see, though. Hello? Yeah, it's little subtle stuff we used to see, though. To let us know. This nigga don't want to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's little subtle stuff, man. It's little small stuff if you're not spiritually discerned, you're not going to catch. You know what I'm saying? They're letting you know that boy don't want to do this here. You just don't think a nigga going to retard all the way out like that, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you start seeing stuff, man. Man, fix your face. 35 and 30. Hold on, y'all. Leah, hush.
Get up. Get up. Get up. Hurry up.
Oh, she fucking hard, too. Job 35, 34, and 30.
Hush it up.
He said that the hypocrite reign not, lest the people be ensnared. Surely it is meet to be said unto Alahym, I have borne chastisement, I will not offend any more. That's what I see not, teach thou me. If I have done iniquity, I will do no more. You know what I'm saying? That's the mind you're supposed to have. He said, boy, that which I see not, teach me. He said, if I have done iniquity, I won't do it no more. I have literally spoken them words after receiving chastisement from this man. Literally. Literally. Those exact words. Not even thinking about that's in the word. Literally said them exact words. In 2012. Probably about June or July. Straight up and down, man. This man came with a chastisement. There was a feeling on my body like I literally thought I was going to die. Like my eyes were about this here big. My heart was beating at a rate that I ain't never felt it beat before. And I could feel the breath coming out of my lungs. You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, it's a wrap for you, boy. You finna leave here. Like, it wasn't no thought like, this just gonna pass. Like, oh, you finna leave here. You know what I'm saying? Well, literally crying out to the man like, you know, boy, I won't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? And ain't did it since that day. Ain't smoked nan tap or reefer since that day. Don't even, that's why it ain't gonna happen. Because I'm telling you, I've been scared before. I done told y'all something this guy said, I've been scared before. I ain't never been terrified. I was terrified that day. I knew for that day right there, he showed his power. He showed certainly, I can take you out of here just like that. It's nothing. I can kill you and raise somebody else up to preach this word. I don't need you to do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to do it. I can kill you and get somebody else to do it. It's that simple. That goes for any one of us. You ain't got to do the job. He'll get rid of you and somebody take your place. That's not going to stop nothing. As far as the word is concerned, that's not going to stop the word getting out. One person ain't going to hold up the word. One person ain't going to hold up salvation. One person ain't going to hold up the man will. He just going to swap you out.
Even swap no swindle.
Even swap no swindle. He going to swap you out. You should know that with Queen Vashti. What she didn't want to do, he got rid of her and put somebody there who would. Just that simple. Ain't nobody spot guaranteed you got to keep it. Oh, I ain't going to kill him because I wanted to preach and get in the word. Shoot, I'll kill that nigga. So it's a million people in Jacksonville, Florida, ain't He could touch anybody, give him the word. That's what he want to do. And I can guarantee you, just because I know the word, I ain't the only person in this city preaching no word. It's somebody in the city preaching the word right now as we speak. And Ruach and Truth, it's somebody in the city doing it right now. I put money on that. I put money on that. Just because you don't know who they are and you ain't never heard of them don't mean it ain't being done. Because if people don't know who I am and ain't never heard of me, but it's being done, so common sense ought to tell you that. That the likelihood of somebody else doing what we're doing right now is happening. You can sit back and look at y'all how you join to certain people for certain reasons, do certain things. Some people you ain't supposed to be dealing with. But see, y'all don't look at that because you're always floating. You know what I'm saying? You thinking for yourself. You ain't sit back and look at it. We prophecy in part, we know in part. You can sit back and look at that. You think Isaiah or Jeremiah or Zechariah, they were all prophesying at the same time, except for Jeremiah. Zechariah and Isaiah were prophesying at the same time. At the same time. Prophesying about two different things. That's why he say they prophecy in part, we know in part. Isaiah was not saying the same things that Zechariah was saying. Haggai was prophesying during the time of Zechariah. He was not saying what Zechariah was saying. They were saying two different things. Jeremiah was prophesying right before they went to Babylon. You think he was the only man prophesying? You already seen with Moses, he said when Joshua came to him, he said they prophesying in the camp. He said, what you envy for my sake? You think all of them were prophesying the same thing? He said he had a prophecy in part and no in part till we come into the unity of the faith. One man get one word, another man get another word, another man get another word. Y'all get a word when he see fit. You can't sit back and look at this person, they preaching about this over here and he preaching about, that don't make no difference. It's all going to come together in one. But you know what's wrong with black people? Ain't got no patience. Ain't got no patience. We ain't had no patience coming in the wilderness, did we? We were ready to go. That's why you stayed there 40 years. Job 34:6 though. Let me get the rolling out of here, man. About 10:30. He preserved not the life of the wicked, but give right to the poor. He give right to the humble. This 36 and 6. My apologies, I said 34. 36 and 6. I got 34 and 6 written down there, but don't say that for another day. 36 and 6. He preserved not the life of the wicked, but give right to the poor. He would draw not his eyes from the righteous, but with kings are they on the throne. Yea, he doth establish them forever, they are exalted. You know he told you that in Luke, that he would establish his throne forever. You know he was given a name above all names. He said because he humbled himself under death, he would be exalted. Do you not realize this here? He said he give right to the poor. Now we know the apostle Peter told you, humble yourselves under Alahym and he will lift you up. Giving right means to give blessing or give rulership. He give what's right to the humble. So you sit back and look at that. And Mashiach say, come learn of me. I'm lowly, I'm meek and hard. He gave right to the humble. You got to follow that same pattern of behavior. Humble yourself under the hand of Alahym. He will lift you up in due time. He will give you that right. You won't be saved. You don't humble yourself. That man say he give grace to the humble. He resists the proud. See, the proud won't humble themselves. You know what I'm saying? Boy, there ain't nothing wrong with y'all humbling you, man. It's what happens when it comes, when you take it. The book say rebuke a wise man, he'll be wiser. The book say rebuke a wise man, he will love you. That's what it say. That's why he say as many as he love, he chasten and rebuke. That's why he say endure the chastening of Yahuwah. For whom y'all love, he chasten. As a father and a son whom he delight. So if I turn around and say I love y'all, this man rebuke me, then I'm going to love him more because that means he loved me. He said, blessed are them whom you chasten out of thy Torah. Y'all don't want to be chastened because you don't love the man. You a bastard, you not a son. That's why when the word comes, you kick and scream when the man rebuking you. Telling you wrong, don't go that way. You still want to go the way the man told you not to go. Just like that prophet in 1 Kings 13. He said, don't go back that way what you came from. Don't eat no bread in this place, nor drink no water. And what you going to turn around and do? Eat bread and drink water in the place he told you to get your black behind up out of. And think he going to bless you with eternal life. I ain't talking about no material stuff. You know, that stuff can be a snare and trap to you. You see yourself getting material stuff. Think that mean y'all with you. The book say you think gain is godliness. Withdraw yourself from somebody that's stupid. Say that person got a perverse and a corrupt mind. You know what I'm talking about? You supposed to sit back looking at where you want your soul to reside. What is important to you? What you willing to lose? That man say, who sit down and count the cost? So you got to be willing to forsake all that you had to be a Taladim, to be a disciple. What you willing to lose? Nigga can't even lose their own self. Nigga wouldn't lose $1 and say they sold. So when you see him talking about, he say he withdraw not his eyes from the righteous. Look at 1 Peter chapter 3 by verse 9. Hold this Job 36. Man, don't take his eyes off nobody righteous. His eyes ain't on you because you ain't righteous. That's all that means. Shoot, praise y'all for the word. Y'all all right? 3 and 8. 1 Peter 3 and 8. I don't need 6. Sit back, get your mind right. I ain't even got everything I want to get to. But guess what, though? It touches some of it, though, whether you know it or not. When I get back to that 2 Peter 2, or 2 Peter 1, you ain't even sit back and realize, boy, I done hit about 3-4 of them things. He say, finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another. Love his brethren, be pitiful, be courteous. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're just talking about. Everybody's supposed to have the same mind. You're supposed to love each other. You're supposed to be pitiful and courteous to each other. You're supposed to sit back and look at if your brother hurt and you hurting with it.
Listen.
You know what I'm talking about? You're supposed to sit back. You're supposed to be courteous with one another. You're supposed to have pity on each other. Now I don't care what that nigga going through. I can sit back in this because it was mentioned to me. I can tell you going through something, push through it. It ain't no time limit on it. You know what I'm talking about? Boy, you could be going through something. You might get over it in 3 days. Little mother could go through something. It might take a 90 days to get over it. But then you got to be there for the 90 days then. Everybody don't deal with everything the same.
Michael.
And if somebody happy, the book say you're supposed to be happy with them. And if they want to be joyous for 6 months, then you be joyous for them then. Regardless if stuff going your way or not.
Yes, sir.
9, not rendering evil for evil, railing for railing, but contrast blessing, knowing that you are thereunto called, that you should inherit a blessing. That means if somebody did something wrong to you, you don't do nothing wrong to them. And if they say something you don't like, that means you don't come back and say something they don't like. He say, for he that will love life and see good days, let him refrain his tongue from evil and his lips that they should speak no guile. Let him eschew evil and do good. Let him seek peace and ensue it. For the eyes of Yahuwah are over the righteous. His ears are open unto their prayers. But the face of Yahuwah is against them that do evil. That's why that man say his eyes is on the righteous. He tell you that in 2 Chronicles about 30 and 9, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? He say the eyes of Yah run to and fro in the earth, and he stands strong in behalf of those whose heart is perfect towards him. That man heart, he ain't finna stand strong for you. Your heart ain't perfect to him. Stand strong for you for what? You know what I'm saying? See, I know sometimes, man, because you know me and Pell been talking about this here, man. See, I know I can be harsh at times, but I know sometimes it's just harsh because niggas, I mean, it just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it could be a little softer. Sometimes I ain't really being harsh. It just hit that hard. You know what I'm saying? It just hit that hard. It hit that hard because you being challenged to be greater than what you're doing. Because there's ability that's seen in you for you to achieve greatness. When you ain't never really had nobody push you to achieve greatness, then you're not going to really take it that way. See what I'm saying? I'm just saying this from his perspective because he done told me he used to say things to his wife and she would take it as being harsh when really he was being hard on you for you to be better than what you were doing because there is better that resides in you. But sometimes you can look at it. Some people can't take hard coaching or they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with that. So you'll adjust it to a certain extent. But that don't mean it won't be hard sometimes. Because sometimes you need to take it there. Sometimes you need that hard, strong, black cup of coffee. Go ahead and wake you up.
Wake up.
Little Mike say, wake up. I mean, sometimes you need that, man. I mean, like I say, now, it doesn't got to be like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Because I know I can be harsh. You know what I'm saying? I'm a hard nigga from Duval County, man. You know what I'm saying? We like that, man. Niggas hard. I was raised that way. You know what I'm saying? Don't cut no corners, man. Go ahead and drop it. It might, like I said, you don't really mean it to be that hard and devastating. At the same time, though, you just imparting something that's serious. You know what I'm saying? I'm serious about what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to cause you to think. You know what I'm saying? Everything that I'm saying right now is to cause you to think. It's to cause you to consider. It's to cause you to weigh out. It's to cause you to make a decision on the pathway of what you're doing and where you want to go. Because I can't make that decision for you. The number one key thing that any real man who teach anything, anybody who's a teacher only wants to cause his students to do one thing, and that's to think. You know what I'm saying? A good one. Bad teachers don't move their students to think. You know what I'm saying? I'll be honest with you. Some of y'all that have been to college or remember high school, you know your favorite teachers was the ones who pushed you to cause you to think. That caused you to really maximize your potential. The ones that just was there and just passed out worksheets and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You didn't like to come in there because you didn't have to do nothing. You could play around. But you didn't remember them because they didn't challenge your mind to think. That's what bad teachers don't cause you to think. A good one is going to push you to think. Everything that I've been saying all night is to cause you to think, for you to weigh out the direction that your life is going in so you can make a sound and rational decision based off the word, based off what it is that you desire for your life. Because see, I can't tell none of y'all what to do. I can tell you what I would do or what I wouldn't do, but I can't tell y'all what to do.
Stop.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all are grown. The Most High ain't never made nobody serve him. You gotta do it on your own. Most High feel like this here. You don't want me, I don't want you. You come to me, I'm gonna come to you. That's what he said. Say if you seek me, I'll seek you. He said if you forsake me, I will forsake you. I remember about 2-3 years ago, I was dealing with a woman, I told her that straight to her face. You forsake me, I'll forsake you, nigga. Standing right in front of University Park Ranch Library, too. I never forget it. That's when we were still rolling with Josiah, going out there to holler at him. I never forget that. She was shocked. She couldn't believe I told her that. I wasn't saying it to be nasty or cold, but I'm like this here, man. I'm dead serious about that. Because I'm going to save my soul, man. I got to be saved, man. If you don't want to do it, you ain't got to do it. Dip. You know what I'm saying? When you sit back and look at it, man, it's like this here, right? Because I know for some people, it's like they think a nigga didn't have no emotions or didn't care about nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I don't have no emotions, don't care about nothing, but my decisions will not be dictated by them. You know what I'm saying? I can't allow that to happen. If I allow that to happen, I'm going to make a wrong decision that could cost me my life. See, I already cost myself my life for going to prison for 4.5 years. Could have died in these streets. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all know it ain't no game in Jacksonville, Florida, man. These boys been murking something. They just ain't started murking something in 2015. They been murking something. You know what I'm saying? This city known for that. Could have lost my life at any time and be waiting to go to hell. So yeah, I weigh this out seriously. Yeah, when y'all come straight to me, it's serious. Yeah, this ain't no game to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to keep on pushing. You know what I'm talking about? It don't matter. I'm talking about everybody who here right now. Well, I was pushing before I knew any one of y'all other than Lil Muffin. And Lil Muffin wasn't even rolling in the beginning. And guess what? If every last one of you was to leave, I'ma still keep on pushing. I ain't gonna stop because niggas leave. I don't care who it was. They did. That's not gonna stop me from doing what I gotta do. My soul got to be saved. That's my desire. And that trumps everything. Come on back to Job 36. I know this here. I know some of y'all like what bro was down. Yeah, nigga was down. That wouldn't mean I was down why I ain't care about saving my soul. I bet you that. You know what I'm saying? I am human. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, I ain't no robot. When you think one thing you know about a man don't walk around with his emotions on his sleeve, that's a sin. Ain't no real man walk around with his emotions on his sleeve. Yeah, you gonna sit back and think they ain't got no emotions, they don't care about stuff. You don't walk around showing that. That's weakness. While I was raised, that's weakness. Nigga gonna take that. You ain't never supposed to let nobody know your weakness. The only people supposed to know your weaknesses are the people that you trust. Just don't walk around showing yourself like that. That's a hard thing for a man to be able to open that up like that. At least for me, because I'm from Duval County, man. I'm a street dude, man. I don't do no stuff like that, man. All I'm saying, like I said, man, I'm a hustler, man. So my first mentality, it's going to be hard for me to initially fully trust somebody. You know what I'm talking about? Because I done seen trust get niggas killed. And even being in this way, man, that's hard. That ain't no easy thing for me, boy. Or just open up this go ahead and trust this person fully like that. That's not no easy thing, man. Not for me, because of my background, where I come from. Some of y'all background that wouldn't be no issue for you. Because you ain't been around snakes and connivers and killers and robbers. You know what I'm saying? Schemers, people who out to hurt you. So you gonna sit back and look at it. I got the way. Nigga like what he said to Nino. He said, Nino, don't trust her? Nobody. Don't trust nobody. Because the reason being, because it always seemed down the line, somebody turn around and snake you. Somebody turn around and betray you. You know what I'm talking about? You don't want to walk around thinking somebody gonna do that to you, but that's how I was raised, that's how I look at it. I'm waiting on you to do it. To me, it's like it's only a matter of time. That's not the greatest way to be thinking, but that's how my mind works. You know what I'm saying? That's how my mind works. 36 and 7 though. Well, 36 and 8. He said they be bound in fetters and be holding in cords of affliction. Then they put a Mashiach in fetters. Don't he told you supposed to be his bondman or his slave? That means you need to be put in fetters then. He said, then he showed them their work and their transgressions that they have exceeded. Don't you realize, right? When the word comes, it's showing you your sins and where you don't went too far. Listen what he tell you. He opened also their ear to discipline and command that they return from iniquity. If they obey and serve him, they shall spend their days in prosperity and their years in pleasure. But if they obey not, they shall perish by the sword, and they shall die without knowledge. But the hypocrites in heart heap up wrath. They cry not when he bind them. That's why you sit back and look at it, right? You know how we know Elisha wasn't no hypocrite? Because when he got up on that tree, he cried out. He opened his ear to discipline. Chasten our son where there is hope, spare not for his crying. Hebrews 12:5, please. That's why he say he opened their ear. That's why I'm sitting here telling you. That's what he did to Paul. You know what I'm talking about? He showed him his transgressions where he exceeded, right? He opened his ear to discipline. He obeyed him. He'll be able to spend his years in prosperity. You can get 1 Timothy chapter 4 to back that up. That's why I'm sitting here telling you. And the last couple of weeks, that man sat back and showed me, boy, you did this here, you did this here, you did this here. You dishonored me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You committed something where you ought to go to hell for that. You know what I'm saying? That literally, if I were married, I would have went to hell for that. You know what I'm talking about? Because you didn't love this person like Elisha loved his wife. You wrong for that. I got to show you where you're transgressing, where you exceeded. I'm going to open your ear to discipline. If you sit back and hear, I'll spare your soul. If not, I'll kill you with the sword. You know Elisha is the sword. He said he coming back with the sword in his mouth to smite the wicked. You just sit back and look at that. Ain't no, I'll get that right next month. Oh, no. Oh, no. I know what the word say. He opening your ear to hear the discipline, to get the correction. He opening your ear for that. But after that, that's on you, though. What you going to do? What you going to do is, I offended, I will offend no more. That's what it is. Offend no more means what, Pell? No more. No more. That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? So when that word comes, you're supposed to sit back and look at it, regardless if y'all come see you to your face or I'm going through something. If it show you, you have exceeded, you have transgressed, you're supposed to sit back and look at y'all. Soon as that sword hits you in your heart, I will offend no more. That's it. That's true repentance. True repentance is over with. That's what true repentance is. It's over with. It's over with. What I just asked for?
Be quiet.
No, it said 1 Timothy chapter 4.
Hebrews something.
Yeah, Hebrews 12:5. I appreciate you.
Michael.
Well, I'll go ahead and read about verse 2 though. Hebrews 12:2. Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the stake, despising the shame, and it sat down at the right hand of the throne of Alahym. He was exalted, right? Eyes upon the righteous, right? For consider him that endured such a contradiction of sinners against himself, lest you be wearied and faint in your mind. So since you be ready to quit and fall out, sit back and look at a man who suffered a contradiction. The just dying for the unjust. What sin did he commit? But yet he cried out when he opened his ear to discipline, and therefore he spared them and he lived his days in prosperity. That's why he's sitting at the right hand of Alahym, because he cried out when he was disciplined, when he was afflicted, when he was chastised. So that's when you sit back, when you see him crying out on the tree, that just ain't him crying out on the tree. When we read that in Job about they cry out and they affliction and they discipline, that ain't just about somebody crying out. That's just not to point out at a Mashiach. Look, that's a Mashiach. No, that's to sit back and realize when that man afflicts you to cry to him. Cry out and say, I'm wrong, I won't do it no more. That's why he say, Alahym, why have you forsaken me? What have I done? I'm crying out. You've opened my ear to discipline where I have exceeded. But where he exceeded was you had exceeded with your transgressions. He was taking the discipline and correction for your transgressions. So when you turned around and got immersed in his death, you was acknowledging I'm going to die with him because I have exceeded. You have opened my ear to discipline because I hear Hamashiach being preached and I believe. Therefore I die unto sin. I die unto the flesh to live under Alahym, but y'all don't be catching that. We done dealt with that before. Knowledge puff up, but love edify. This stuff is to instruct you in how to love your God. Not just no useless information. This ain't just a point out to say, boy, that nigga nice, boy, he can find a Mashiach everywhere. Man, you know how many people done told me that stuff? That stuff don't move me, don't sway me. I done had people tell me that all the time. Then I done had people tell me I got a devil in me. I done had people to tell me I'm bewitched. I done had people tell me I was crazy. I done had people tell me it's utterly ridiculous for me to say the whole book is about Yahushua. On both sides of the coin. That's how y'all keep you humble. Just admitting people try to tell you how nice you is. It's a whole bunch of people to tell you how garbage you are. How crazy you are. I ain't even a person who even like praise and all that type of stuff. That stuff make me feel uncomfortable. I always been like that. I'm good. I don't need that. That don't make my self-esteem boost up. I don't get no confidence from that. Because I know niggas will gas you up just to take you down from the street, man. Nigga tell you all that stuff with the flattering tongue just so they can put a bullet in your brain. That stuff don't move me, man. That man tell you that in Daniel, that he'll come with flattery. These people come tell you how nice you are. Be federal agents get you killed. Y'all might think I'm lame, boy. I ain't lame and I ain't stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Just cause I don't say stuff too, don't mean I don't know nothing. Just because you don't say or tell me something don't mean I don't know nothing. I'm not stupid. I wouldn't have survived in the streets. I wouldn't have survived in prison if I was stupid. I just let you think I'm stupid. I just let you think I don't know what's going on. I'm not stupid. And it's too many times I done had to tell you, I'm not stupid, man. You know what I'm saying? I pick up on stuff very well. I just don't say nothing. I just don't say nothing. Nigga ain't got to call out everything, man. 12 and 4 though. You have not resisted. You have not yet resisted under blood, striving against sin. And you have forgotten the exhortation which speak unto you as unto children. My son, despise not the chastening of Yahuwah, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. For whom Yahuwah love, he chasten and scourge every son whom he received. If you endure chastening, Alahym deal with you as sons. For what son is he whom the father chasten not? But if you be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then you are bastards and not sons. In order for me to be a son of Alahym, that means I have to take correction and chastisement from the man. If I wouldn't be willing to take that, then I would be a bastard. If it would take me 3-4 months to correct something that a nigga did for 2 years, that's a problem. It didn't take it. All it took was him to show me. That's all it took. That's all it took. He could have showed me this 6 months ago and the same thing would have happened. He showed it to me when he wanted to do it. For what purpose? He knows. You know what I'm talking about? He knows what purpose he did it for. Straight up and down, like he knows what purpose he did it for. In due time, it will reveal what the purpose was. You know what I'm saying? But either way it go for me, I say thank y'all. I ain't never mad. You know what I'm saying? That's what you ask for. You ask for the man to keep you in the narrow way, right? You know what I'm talking about? So then that ain't going to bother me now. That's keeping me in the narrow way then. See, he could easily let me go outside that way and stay outside that way. So I'm thankful for that. You know, I say hallelujah for you. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Some people sit back and look at it, man, that nigga that praise and this, that, that, and the third. And I'm sitting back looking at it, that was for my salvation. You know what I'm saying? That was for my salvation. I'm going to take that. You know what I'm saying? That man sit back and say, he say you could get burned and suffer loss. He say that be lost, but your soul be saved. So if something got to be lost for my soul be saved, that's what it got to be then. You know what I'm saying? That's what it got to be then. That's how I look at everything. Because my soul's salvation trump everything. Everything. I wouldn't care what it was. People, places, things, money, jobs, whatever. My soul's salvation trump all that. All that. I don't want nothing on this earth more than I want my soul saved. Nothing. I don't want no one on this earth more than I want my soul saved. No one. You know what I'm saying? See, I ain't got no kids. I ain't got no dependents, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? All I got is me. So that's all I got to worry about. All I got is me. All I got to do is focus on.
Put your foot down.
Boom. I've been doing it. Hell no. I had been doing it. I had been doing it for 5 years. It was nothing. You know what I'm talking about? Especially when you get resigned in your mind that this is what you're going to do. Once you get something resigned in your mind, this is what you're going to do. This is what it's going to be. I'm like this here. I didn't want my soul saved. I'm going to preach the word like this here. Compare no, boy, I already go all across the country with it if that's what the man want me to do. I'm with what this man want me to do. That's what I'm about. I go where he want me to go. I do what he want me to do. I be where he want me to be. That's what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I can sit back and have a natural desire like y'all already know. I want to do HVAC and all when I got out of prison. I want to do a whole bunch of stuff. He ain't let it happen. Some of y'all already know. The business we working on now, man, me and the brother Mike, we were trying to do that last year. He didn't let it happen. Well, I didn't say last year, but 2014. About the same time, November 2014, about the same time that y'all allowed it to begin the process for us to do it this year. We had been trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't let that go down. For reasons known to him. But then he decided to let that go down. You can have, it don't matter what you seek to go do, man. If y'all ain't going to allow you to do it, you're not going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? And if you forced to try to do it, then y'all going to go ahead and crack you. You know what I'm talking about? And then it's going to come down to what you're going to do after he crack you. Come on back to 2 Peter.
Come on back.
So we're in verse 6, right? So now we've added virtue. We're adding virtue and knowledge, right? 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 6, right? Get ready to wrap the thing on up, man. Get ready to wind it on down. Everybody cool? Y'all cool, man? All right, man. Praise God then. Hallelujah. And it says, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness. I'm going to read it all the way out. And to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. So that means we're going to have to sit back and look at all that, right? To look at knowledge and the temperance. Then we sit back and look at temperance and self-control, right? So when we sit back and we look at when you enduring and chastening, and then you turn from that chastening, ain't that self-control? You'll hold yourself back.
Yes, sir.
And you get disciplined and corrected from something, and you say, if I've offended, I will offend no more. That is self-control. You will hold yourself back. See, that's what the people didn't show in the wilderness. Nobody in the wilderness showed self-control except Joshua and Caleb. Because when they went in the land, they didn't give a bad report for the land in Numbers 13. They didn't fear the giants. They put their trust in Yah. They had self-control. The people didn't have self-control. When the people went to lusting, look at Numbers chapter 11. See, that lusting something serious, man. And when we talk about lusting, that just means a desire for something. Having a desire for something can get you in trouble when you desiring the wrong thing.
Come sit down.
When you desiring the wrong thing. One of the biggest things that mess people up with dealing with Yah is moving too fast. Because he said one of the things you're supposed to learn was patience. Them people supposed to learn patience them 40 years they was in the wilderness. The biggest thing to get you in trouble, to show you that you don't have the mind of Yah, is that you move too fast. You know what I'm saying? Meaning you make hasty decisions. You can't make hasty decisions to serve Yah. He said, when the people complained, it displeased Yahuwah, and Yahuwah heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of Yahuwah burnt among them, and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried unto Moses, and when Moses prayed unto Yahuwah, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of Yah burnt among them. Taberah means burning. Get you Luke 12 and 49. When you sit back and look at when Hamashiach was living, the people were lusting. Remember it said the scribes and Pharisees, they were covetous. They were lustful men. They lusted for his office, his wife. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's what the scribes and Pharisees did. They were willing to kill this man for his wife because they were lusting for his wife. And that's what they were doing. They were violating the law, didn't even know it. The law says that thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. They turned around and looked at Mashiach, they coveted his wife. That's why Mashiach said, don't tell them who I am. Because he knew what they were going to do. They'll kill me for it. Just like with Abraham, right? So he turned around and said, yeah, man, I'm the Mashiach. They already know. We got to kill him. Take her for ourselves. Because they wanted that power, that rulership, that authority over the people. Their lust and their desire was greater than the will of Yahuwah. That led them to commit a sin unto death. 12 and 49. He said, I come to send fire on the earth. And what will I if it be already kindled? But I have an immersion to be immersed with. And how am I straitened till it be accomplished? Suppose ye that I come to give shalom on the earth? I tell you nay, but rather division. From henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2 and 2 against 3.
What did I tell you to do?
The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, and the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother, and the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And you already know what he told you. And a man's foes would be those of his own household. See, this man came to cause a separation. Ain't that something that you turn around and see that he caused that fire to come down, and he prayed to the people for that fire to stop? Don't you realize that fire came down on the Mashiach? It was all, because he said Yahuwah was mad. The fire was already kindled because of them provoking him to anger because of their rebelliousness and their lust. We won't meet. We won't meet. They sit back looking at, I'm tired of this manna. I want something better. He said, you ain't got to worry about it. I get it to you. You know what I'm saying? They ain't had no self-control. Come on back to Numbers 11. All I'm trying to warn y'all is do not have the same mentality that your forefathers had in the wilderness. That mentality that your forefathers had in the wilderness is what stopped them from getting in. You know, sin is real easy to deceive. You know what I'm saying? Once sin is conceived, it's an easy deception. And it can make your heart real hard. This is why they provoke y'all and complain. And it says in verse 4, and the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting, and the children of Yasharal also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Mizraim freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But our soul is dried away. You heard what he said? But now our soul is dried away. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. What could that mean? Our soul is dried away? What y'all think? What happened if your soul dried away? What did the Mashiach sit back and say on the stake, right? I thirst, right?
Yeah.
Now look at Ezekiel 37 real fast. Because now I got to deal with the patience part. See, y'all ain't even see that coming. Y'all ain't even finna see how I'm finna work that patience in there. Y'all ain't even finna see how I'm work that in there. Because after we look at that Ezekiel 37, get you Job 17. Ezekiel 37 and 9. Ezekiel 37 and 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, son of man. Say to the wind. If he say prophesy to the wind, who he prophesying to? Gentlemen, if he prophesying to the wind, what is he prophesying to? Any of you brothers got any idea? What you think it'd be, Dwight? If he's huh? He prophesying to the Ruach, or the Spirit. Remember, Ruach means breath or wind. He telling them prophesy to the wind. Prophesy, son of man, say to the wind, thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain that they may live. Remember, what did the Mashiach do? He breathed on those dry bones. Didn't it? He say, so I prophesied as he commanded me, and the breath came in unto them, and they lived and stood up upon their feet, an exceeding great army. Then said he unto me, son of man, these bones are the whole house of Yasharal. Behold, they say our bones are dried, our hope is lost. We are cut off for our parts. Therefore prophesy unto them, thus saith Yahuwah Alahym, behold, O my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up out of your graves and bring you into the land of Yasharal. The same way he opened up the graves for the men in Matthew 27 that they would resurrect, right? He breathed on them, brought them up out their graves. They said they ain't had no hope. Remember, he said he didn't make them perfect, did he? They didn't receive the promise. But now we turn around and we look at this here in Job 17, probably about 10. See, that's what y'all sitting back looking at. If you ain't got that breath in you, you dried up. You ain't got no hope. So now you need to sit back and look at, what do I need to do to not pine away in my iniquities? That means to turn to righteousness. Job 17 and 10.
Be quiet.
Make sure that's what I want. Yep, 17 and 10, good enough. We'll make it 11. He say, my days are past, my purposes are broken off, even the thoughts of my heart. They change the night into day. The light is short because of darkness. He made it go dark, right? For 3 hours, right? Light got short. If I wait, the grave is mine house. I have made my bed in the darkness. I have said to corruption, thou art my father. To the worm, thou art my mother and my sister. And where now is my hope? As for my hope, who shall see it? They shall go down to the bars of the pit when our rest together is in the dust. Now Job is sitting there talking about, where is his hope? As for my hope, how can I see it? See, the reason why we sit back and look at it right is, go to Acts chapter 2. Just look at Acts chapter 2. I know I asked for 1 Timothy chapter 4. I'll get to it in a minute. Acts 2 and 24. See, Hamashiach sitting back looking at, he telling his apostles that he gonna die and resurrect from the dead. Did he see it? He couldn't actually see himself being resurrected, but he had that hope. But when they came and got him, what was he talking about? You know, let this cup pass, right? You know, he crying out, all these type of things. Says, now where's my hope? I can't see it. He said, whom Alahym have raised up, having loosed the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holden of it. But David speak concerning him, I foresaw Yahuwah always before my face. He is on my right hand, that I should not be moved. Therefore did my heart rejoice, and my tongue was glad. Moreover, also my flesh shall rest in hope, because thou wilt not leave my soul in hell. Neither wilt thou suffer thy Kadesh one to see corruption. So you know why his flesh was able to rest in hope? We know, I put that up there earlier in Bereshit in Genesis 18 and 14, where he told Abraham that, you know, he would have this baby. And then he told Sarah, is anything too hard for y'all? So I want you to look at Romans chapter 4 about verse 18. So you have to hope against hope. See, a lot of y'all ain't got no faith. Y'all got to see it. If you can't see it, then you don't believe it. When he say without faith, it's impossible to please him. Because you got to believe that Alahym is and a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the things not seen. Hamashiach couldn't see the reward he was going to receive for dying. Don't you realize when you went down in that water and came up that you was going down with the same hope that he did, that he won't suffer his set apart one to see corruption? That your flesh supposed to rest in hope, knowing that the promise the man was going to give, he going to give. The same thing we were looking at Job 36, where he say he'll exalt you, put you on a throne, that your days would be in prosperity. When we know 2 Corinthians 8 and 9 say Hamashiach made himself poor for our sakes, for through his poverty we would be made rich. That's prosperity. That's prosperity. We talking about prosperity with Alahym. You got to sit back and see that. That's hope. You can't see the kingdom right now. That man say, I have not seen, nor here have heard, nor it came into the heart of man what Alahym have prepared for them that love him. You don't see the reward. You can't see it. So then when you sit back and you look at, boy, the Most High let you know, son, you supposed to hope against hope, that he's able to accomplish what he accomplished and not stagger at the promise, nor dishonor the Most High through unbelief. He can't do nothing with nobody who don't believe in him. He can't do nothing with nobody who don't trust him. He can't do nothing with nobody who don't believe what he's saying. What can he do with you? Some people wonder, why y'all don't speak to me? Why would he speak to you? You ain't going to do nothing. You don't believe him no way. Why would he say something to you? Why would he speak to your heart? Why would he put a thought in your brain? You're not going to do nothing. You're not going to believe it.
You're not believe it.
Acts 4 and 17.
Not believe it.
Romans 4 and 17, my bad. As it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations, before whom he believed, even Alahym, who quickened the dead and called those things which be not as though they were. That's the key thing. This man say he called the things that are not as if it happened right then. Do you not realize Hamashiach would tell you, he say, I tell you these things before they happen, that you might believe. That's why y'all sit back and look at it. He tell you things before they happen, that when they happen, you might believe. He tell you things before they happen, so when they happen, you might believe. That's what it's all about. He said, who against hope believed in hope, that he might become the father of many nations, according to that which was spoken, so shall thy seed be. And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead, when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. He staggered not at the promise of Alahym through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving esteem to Alahym, and being fully persuaded that which he had promised he was able to perform. Therefore it was imputed to him for righteousness. There go that virtue again. You got to be persuaded that Yah can perform what he said he can perform. You know what I'm saying? Because if you ain't willing to do that, then something going to happen. The just live by amunah. The just live by faith. You're going to find yourself outside the will of Yah. That man say the faith. He say the cowards and the unbelieving are the first ones that's going to enter the lake. Because you're supposed to remember, it's one thing. It's impossible for Alahym to lie. It's impossible. No, he'll bring to pass what he bring to pass. The difference will come down is, will you buck it? You know what I'm saying? Some people turn around, they'll try to buck the man. But what we're looking at is, he said, where now is my hope? Same thing that Abraham looked at. Where is your hope? Your hope should be in Alahym. 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Second Corinthians 4:17. That's why the book says we walk by faith and not sight. We walk by the evidence of things that you hope for, not the things that you see. Because the book say if you can see it, why you dare hope for it? He say, but that which you see not, he say, with patience you'll wait for it. You'll wait for the man. The book say, blessed are those that wait for him, right? Did Mashiach see his promise? But for 3.5 years, he waited for it. And the apostles, for 3 days, they waited for it. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, work for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of esteem. While we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. That's where your hope rests in Alahym. That's why you say set your affections in the things that be on Shamahim and not the things that be in the rest. Set your hope on Yah. That's what the Son did. Do you not realize when he was on the stake, he said he lifted up his eyes to Shamahim? That's where his hope was. That's where he set his affection at. That's what he did. That's what we ought to do. We ought to follow that same pattern of behavior. That same pattern. When we follow that same pattern, we can get that same reward. We can dwell in prosperity. We can get a throne. We can be exalted. All through Yahushua HaMashiach, our Master and Savior. That's what we're supposed to look at. These are things you're supposed to be adding to your faith, that you grow thereby. Because that's going to add to you godliness when you put on the Son.
Sit down.
He said, whosoever live and believe in me shall never die. Believe that it is. That's why he said your hope is dried up. Our hope is lost. Because you haven't set your hope in Mashiach. You set your hope in Mashiach, then you won't be dried up for your parts. Because he said, come unto me that doth thirst, and I will give you drink. And he that believe on me, as the scripture has said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. Does that sound like somebody dried up right up here? That's what you got to look at. You know, I don't do this stuff every week just to be doing it, man. That's not the purpose. I'm going to be dead honest with y'all. Some of y'all are supposed to be a lot further along than what you are. You're not further along because you weren't diligent in your labor. You had 1,000,001 excuses on why your faith ain't where it's supposed to be, or why you're not bringing fruit like you're supposed to bring. You're not bringing it because you didn't put your hand to the plow to bring it. You had too much other stuff coming in the way. Some of y'all still got too much other stuff coming in the way. You're going to seek Yah to seek Yah, and seek him with all the heart and all the soul like he told you to do. You know what I'm saying? You'll get to what you're after. If not, you're going to get what you say you don't want. Why would you do that? We just looked at that last week. I don't have no desire for nobody to go to hell. Y'all don't have no desire for anybody to go to hell. Why do you have a desire to go? That makes no sense. It makes no sense whatsoever. Come on back to 2 Peter, man. Let's end this all out, man. So when we looked at that, and I didn't even get a chance to show Hamashiach teaching all these things yet. You know what I'm saying? Because if we could come back and show Hamashiach teaching all these things. When you look at brotherly kindness, you know our law taught us that. You know I told you that Wednesday. You know, love your neighbor as you love yourself. You know Mashiach showed that himself when he washed his disciples' feet and told you to have love one for another, that all men might know that you are my disciples. When you take the knowledge of the word, you can see that with David. See, the thing I want to do is a strong support in the week. I got about 3-4 things in my head to preach about. Y'all only knows what he'll put in my heart to preach in the afternoon. So it's a whole bunch of things you're supposed to be looking at, because all these things you add, when you add that patience and you have that hope, right, that's going to lead to godliness, because you will become as God, because you will be able to see the Ruach HaKodesh because of your faith, because you done added the virtue or the strength or the righteousness. You've added the knowledge. You've learned of your God. He said it's written in the prophets, they shall all be taught Alahym. Therefore, everyone who has heard of the Father come unto me. You said supposed to look at some of y'all already been getting the knowledge, but you weren't hearing it. You were listening to it. So then when you add that knowledge is going to allow you to have self-control. Like what we read in Romans chapter 7, where Paul say, I would have known sin unless the law showed me what sin was. This will restrain me from committing it. So then once you done added that temperance, then you add that patience. That patience is because you have hope, because even though you can't see it, you wait for it. Because your trust is really in Alahym and not in yourself. And then through that, you're going to add godliness, because you're going to become as him, because you're going to take on his mind, you're going to take on his attributes, because you added that faith, you added that self-control, you added that knowledge, because there's no iniquity with Alahym. He don't sin. You know what I'm saying? He the one who dispenses the knowledge. You got to sit back and look at that. You adding all these things. This is all the things he was trying to teach them in the wilderness. These are all the things that people bucked up against. Then he say from that, brotherly kindness, and from brotherly kindness, love. Because if you sit back and you love Alahym, you're going to love your brother. That's why we read the Shema in Deuteronomy 6. Love me with all your heart and all your soul. Because if you love Alahym, you won't do no ill to your neighbor. Love work no ill to your neighbor. You're not going to do it. He said, for if these things be in you and abound, they shall make you neither be barren nor unfruitful in the knowledge of our Master, Yahushua HaMashiach. But he that lacked these things is blind and cannot see afar off, and have forgotten that he was purged from his old sins. See, all that go back to in the wilderness, they forgot that they left from Mizraim. That's why they were trying to go back. They were blind. That's why they were lusting. They were blind. They couldn't see that. See, I didn't go read it. But when you look at Numbers chapter 11, you see that they cried for that meat, and he gave them what they wanted. Oh, this is what you wanted. That's what you like. That's what you wanted. I'm going to give it to you. And then he gave it to them. And you know what he did? I want you to hear what he did. Go to Numbers 11. I'll show you what he did, though. He turned around. He gave them what they wanted, right? They said that's what they wanted, and he gave it to them. They sat back, they seen that manna. We stopped at verse 7. They say, we ain't want that no more. Say the people, they gathered the manna up, say it tasted fresh oil. They had to hoard the manna. They hated it, right? So hold on, let me see. Numbers 11 by 17. Make it 16. Listen to what he said. Yahuwah said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Yasharah, whom thou know to be elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there. And I will take of the Ruach which is upon thee, and I will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. Same way the spirit that was on the Mashiach, he put that on his apostles, that they might bear that burden with him. Ain't that what he did? Ain't that something? Well, this word beautiful. You hear me? He said, and say thou unto the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and ye shall eat flesh. For you have wept in the ears of Yahuwah, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Mizraim. Therefore Yahuwah will give you flesh, and you shall eat. So he sitting back, really they sitting back looking at is this. We used to have this, and this is what we liked. We came here, and you gave us this manna, and I don't like that manna. Give me what I like. So he say, you know what? You want flesh? This manna, you hate the manna? You abhor it? You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, they talking greasy. Like the book say that's Malachim bread. That's Malachim food. Ain't that what someone say? So you sit back saying, you hate that food. You hate the food that comes from Shamahim. This is what you say you don't want. So then he turn around and say, you know what? Don't worry about it. He say, since you say you had it in Mizraim, right? It was well with you in, wasn't it? Then what he told him. He said, you shall not eat 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but a whole month, until it come out your nostrils, and be loathsome unto you, because that you have despised Yahuwah, which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Mizraim? He said, since you cried to him, talking about why you came up out of sin, I got you. They hadn't forgot they were purged from their old sins when they were blind. That's what they forgot. Drop down though. Drop down to 30. And Moses got him into the camp, and he and the elders of Yasharal, they went forth a wind from Yahuwah and brought the quails from the sea and let them fall by the camp as it was a day's journey on this side, as it was a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and it was about 2 cubits high upon the face of a rat's. And the people stood up all that day and all that night, and all the next day they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere as it was chewed, the wrath of Yahuwah was kindled against the people, and Yah smote the people with a very great plague. And he called the name of that place Kibroth Hattava, because they buried the people. There they buried the people that lusted. So because these people were carnal, because if they lusted, they were carnal. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought I would be able to work in through much tribulation. You got to enter in the kingdom, but obviously not. You know what I'm saying? But these people got carnal and they lusted because they were looking at, they wanted something. They wanted what they wanted versus what, they wanted what man had to offer versus what Yah had to give. You know what I'm saying? Because they were saying who would give us flesh to eat, and they were remembering the flesh that they had in Mizraim and the fish and all that stuff that they liked in the past. Versus the bread or the honey or the coriander, or that was that coriander seed or the thing that came from Yah. They didn't want that no more. You know what I'm saying? So they looked at that we want the things that come from man and not from Alahym. So therefore he gave them the things that come from man, and then he killed them for it. That's how you sit back and look at it. Do you want the things of Yah, or do you want the things of man? Because the things of man, he gonna kill you for it. The things of Alahym, you'll live. You notice all the people didn't die. All the people didn't cry out lusting. All the people didn't cry out for flesh to eat. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a serious thing. Like, it's dead serious. You sit back and look at it. If they cried for the things in Mizraim, they forgot they were purged from their old sin. Because it was the blood of a firstborn lamb without blemish that purged them up out of Egypt. That's what got them up out of there. And then he brought them up out of there and brought them in the wilderness, and he was teaching them all these things. He was teaching them about patience. He was teaching them about godliness. He was teaching them about self-control. He was teaching them about virtue. He was giving them knowledge. They got all these things, but they weren't able to bring brotherly kindness, love. He was teaching them all them things, but they didn't want them things. They wanted the things that were of man. They wanted the things that were of the world. They had forgotten they were purged from their old sins. They had forgotten that Yah had delivered them, and they cried out for the things that are of the earth, the things that are of the world, the things that are of man. He killed them for it. He gave them what they wanted, and then he killed them for it. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be careful with that. You know what I'm talking about? And you can sit back and look at something that you want something, and it's not of Yah, and he take you out behind it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be real careful. You know what I'm saying? On certain stuff, about doing certain stuff. I mean, little muffin, no, I be real careful. I don't want to mess around, boy, and be doing something, and that's just what I want, and I'm going after what I want. Then he give it to me, then he kill me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this. I mean, I got this understanding. I'm aware that he will do this. You got to understand how he operates. So I sit back and look at something. If he keeps something back from me, then I'm gonna just leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? Or don't go back that way. I can't forget and be seeking after these things and not be pleased with what Yah got to give, basically. Because if Yah give it, you ought to be pleased with it. If you're not pleased with what Yah give, and then you want what you want, then that could be a problem. Like this here, boy, Yah could give you a woman that look like a mud duck. I'm talking about ugliest woman you ever want to see. You know what I'm talking about? But if that's what he gave you, you better go ahead and roll with that. You know what I'm talking about? Hopefully for anybody's sake, that wouldn't happen. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just like this here, though. You got to be able to roll with that. Because the purpose being is because it's going to be for your benefit or profit later. As far as spiritually is concerned. You know what I'm talking about? So you got to sit back and look at that. You could get put in a position at a job, but you really wanted this job, and then you go to try to seek after that job, and that job done took you down when this is the place where Yah wanted you at. Because you got to sit back and look at that. You don't want to sit back and reject the things that's of him for what you want. See, that's why Mashiach said I didn't come down to do my own will. I came to do the will of him that sent me. That's why I'm mentioning this here, to have that type of mind frame. To have that type of mind frame. When you have that type of mind frame that you want to do his will and not your own, then you won't fall down like they fell. You'll remember that you were purged from your old sins. You won't be blind. They forgot. They forgot. That's the whole key thing the really trying to hit on. They forgot where they came out of. They forgot that they were oppressed. They forgot that they were vexed. They forgot all of these things. We know that Hebrews tell us that he destroyed him that had power over death. That is the devil, who for all that time had people subject to bondage. Y'all hear me? We'll stop right there though. Praise y'all for Yahushua Mashiach in the word. Y'all understood all that stuff this evening?